with me junior sir.
Very good.
Pardon? No, I am that time.
We are in a.
It's like that. On behalf of respondent number 2, I am the senior counsel. Advocate on record is there and assistant advocate. That I am submitting. No.
All organized. Very well. Then may I just proceed with my matter, my lord?
Well, Mr. Raju has been granted access. Has been granted.
While he's there, yes.
Insofar as the
Courtroom, Mr. Raju.
Ladyship may prevent me.
The respondent authorities to act. Plus would get the valid address.
One,
Kindly have a look at the
I,
interim relief that they've asked
I'm
for.
happy.
The person who is, I am adhering, you wait for tendency in before the Honorable Supreme Court is there, Millard. I am also not very well aware of it. So, Millard, he wants to. Millard, that is the main predicament. But Millard, let it be because I am adhering to. So, Millard,
May I just
because you are not
indicate
allowed. Allow for it.
Correct. In my matter, nothing of that sort is there. In the other matter, when that is called, my lord, your lordship would deal with it. In my matter, nobody has gone.
In my contention is, Millard, with regard to the same subject matter, SLP has been filed, caveat has been discharged from our side. We have already served on the caveators. Now, Millard, that matter, Honorable Supreme Court is in season of the matter. Now, Millard, this is arising of the same subject matter. The prayers which have been made by them over here, they are wanting certain documents which.
No, Mr. Ganguly, not. State of West Bengal is not being permitted to come.
No, CBI is not allowed. CBI and Union of India is not. My lord, CBI and Union of India is not being allowed to come in. See, because in our petition, we have made CBI a party.
Mr. Dotto is not being permitted to come in.
Well, let CBI be allowed and Union of India also be allowed, Millard. CBI and Union of India is there, Millard, they will be allowed.
Second matter, on behalf of respondent number 2, I have with me junior sir.
Very good.
Pardon? No, I am that time.
We are in a.
It's like that. On behalf of respondent number 2, I am the senior counsel. Advocate on record is there and assistant advocate. That I am submitting. No.
All organized. Very well. Then may I just proceed with my matter, my lord?
Well, Mr. Raju has been granted access. Has been granted.
While he's there, yes.
insofar as the ED matter is where the ED is the second matter, I believe the prayers before the Supreme Court are almost identical.
My lord, identical. My lord, why? My lord, will kindly bear me for 2 minutes.
He's here.
Yes.
Is there?
Sir,
Yes.
Sir is there, and sir will have address.
Yes. The prayers before the Supreme Court are almost identical.
My lord, identical.
Sir,
my
unmute
lord,
yourself.
My lord,
Kindly unmute
bear me
yourself.
for 2 minutes. Yes.
Is there?
Sir.
Yes.
Am I audible? Am I audible, your ladyship?
You are. Yes. Before
We have filed
Identical. My
unmute
lord,
yourself.
my lord, kindly
a lot of disturbance, your ladyship. May I?
Yes, sir. Please,
We
yes.
have filed 2 petitions in the Supreme Court.
You are. Yes.
We have filed two matters in the Supreme Court. Being lot of petitions, criminal number 16 or 26,
Stop. Please,
and
yes.
17 or 26, wherein we have made same prayers. Maybe we made additional prayers, and we have said that if the Supreme Court entertains those matters,
Please give me a minute. Please give me a minute. May
I
I
can't. You're not audible.
May I
We have made same prayers.
mute
Maybe we
yourself?
made additional prayers. And we have said somebody is speaking, your ladyship. Somebody is speaking. I can't.
Sir, kindly wait for some time.
Why
We have made
Maybe
same prayers.
many people have logged in and they have kept their audios open. So that they can be muted from here. Can you wait for some time? Many people have logged it and they have kept their audio muted. So that
I think he's having a
sir,
mute Mr. Raju.
there is some audio problem from your side.
I think that is mute Mr. Raju. Oh, and this is the back effect that is coming. This is the relay that is coming. It was the YouTube because I could hear myself.
Even I could. hear
Yes,
myself.
yes, yes, yes.
Something has to be done.
Now it is done. I believe.
May I now speak, Your Leadership? If
Well,
I'm
uh,
Yes, please
Mr. Maneka Guruswamy is also there. This is the relay that is coming. She's the lead counsel in my matter. Hear myself.
Even I could.
Yes, 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 yes.
Something has to be done.
Now
Let
it
me
is
let
done.
me hear Mr. Raju.
May I now
My
speak,
God,
Your Leadership?
everything is being
If I-
played on Mr. Maneka Guruswamy.
There is a lot of echo.
She's the lead counsel in my matter. Hear myself.
it is being
Even I.
Yes, yes, yes.
Something has to be done.
Now
Let
it
me
is
let
done.
me hear Mr. Raju.
May I now request everybody else not to speak, Your Leadership?
Mr. Maneka Guruswamy.
There is a lot of echo.
She's the lead counsel in my matter. Hear myself.
Even I.
Yes, yes.
Something has to be done.
Now
Let me
it is
let me hear Mr. Raju.
May I now request everybody else not to speak, Your Leadership?
Mr. Maneka Guruswamy.
There is a lot of echo.
She's the lead counsel in my matter. Hear myself.
Start hearing,
Milord, what we have, because Milord, I was being led by Milord, what our contention is.
But we-
This
May I
because
only submit this, but may I only submit this, Your Leadership? If
which
I'm
has been filed, SLP which has been filed by us before the Honorable Supreme Court. What we deals with the same cause of action with the same subject matter. Now, my Lord will kindly subject, my Lord, it is intertwined. It is intertwined to that effect that my Lord has seen our prayer before my lords.
My lord, here's me.
Now, my Lord, their prayers are that threefold. One,
Let us see what our prayers is, Mr.
my
Trivedi.
Lord, may I?
Allow me to at least
He's actually
indicate.
primarily asking for the.
An
Supreme
adjournment on both the applications.
Why mine? Because I'm not
Why?
in Supreme
Because-
Court.
because
I'm
I
not
have
caveat.
been-
They are all connected,
I
they're all
always
connected.
have a right to ask for an adjournment because I am a respondent therein.
Please understand.
As a respondent, I have a right.
Let him say.
Now,
then I
my lord,
submit.
it is for my lord.
Let me hear Mr. Banerjee. Let
Correct.
him place his case.
My lord, in that case, my lord, if that is being done, my lord will kindly ensure that my leader is made audible and he addresses this honorable court. Because, my lord, otherwise, my lord, the person who is I am adhering to, if he is not being able to present the case before my lord today due to any reason under the sun, then, my lord, I cannot go handicapped.
Yes, let me
place
place the
You
case.
can always take your stance after that,
Correct.
right?
My lord will kindly, my lord will, in the meantime, my lord will ask that let
Oh my God, who's he?
Union of India.
Yes.
May I am I audible now, Your Leadership? Am I audible?
He'll have the
Yes.
first right.
Sir is audible.
If he's challenging the maintainability, he'll have the first.
Can I just say something that this has become infructuous?
Please.
Effectively. This petition will not survive slowly. Why? I'll tell your lordship because my lord, if Dr. Goswami could be added.
No, no, Mr. Raju is also audible.
May I
What
just-
we have asked for and what are our grounds before the Supreme Court context both these petitions. It is not as if it is my petition. I've also said something about the other petition. Supreme Court is said the matter is likely to come up with the Supreme Court within a week. Till the Supreme Court is hearing the matter, heavens are not going to fall. Nothing is going to happen. So let these matters be adjourned.
That is
Your
his
Leadership,
submission.
kindly have a look.
But now your lordship would hear my submission.
Let
No,
me
no, kindly have a look. As far as their petition is concerned, it is mixed with my petition. It can't be segregated. It is not as if the
Are you
petition
over
is
there?
can be
No.
segregated. Therefore,
me
let
hear
this
his submission.
no, leadership may hear me. Let both these matters be adjourned to a short date. As soon as the Supreme Court hears the matter, we will proceed with the matter. Even otherwise, on the last occasion, if your leadership recollects, your leadership had granted the date. My consent was not that there are other matters fixed today, important matters fixed today. We are busy also in that. But the main reason why we want an adjournment is that the matter is same petition, same reliefs is before the Supreme Court as far as we are concerned. As far as their petition is concerned, there are some reliefs which are intermingled with their petition. Therefore, this can be kept after some days. If your ladyship may hear both these matters, I'm not running away from that, but only keep it after the Supreme Court is seized of the matter. And even otherwise, when the Supreme Court is seized of these matters, there are judgments to the effect that this court should not hear the matters. Kindly have a look at one
sir.
judgment,
No.
1986 Supreme Court.
That's
Supreme-
yes. That's settled law, sir.
Then therefore mine is a reasonable request. Mine is a reasonable request. Nothing is going to happen. And there are so many things that I have to say, even as far as that petition is concerned, but I'm refraining from doing so, even as far as maintainability is concerned, because the matter is pending in the Supreme Court. The judicial decorum requires that till the matter is disposed of by the Supreme Court, this may not be heard. It may be that the Supreme Court may say, yeah, all right, go, let the High Court decide. But till that time, the Supreme Court orders have passed, this matter may be adjourned. Your ladyship adjourned it on the earlier date for 3 days. A few more days, nothing is going to happen. The earlier date when your ladyship adjourned, they never objected to, they never asked for a hearing. It
Let
was
me-
me who asked for a hearing.
My lord,
Counsel, sir.
This
my
is
lord,
quite
I am opposing the prayer of the ED's learned counsel. And if your lordship permit me, I can place my points why I am
You are
opposing.
appearing for?
I am appearing for in the ED's petition
No, I'm-
for respondent number 2.
I also want to place written submissions on maintainability. Give me time to place written submissions on maintainability. What is the hurry? What is the hurry? There is no interim relief. What is the interim relief as far as the matter is concerned? Now kindly have a look. I'm not on merits. Kindly look at their matter. What is the interim relief
officer
that they have prayed for?
Guruswamy in the matter. A,
Okay.
till the time Dr. Guruswamy is being added, my lord would kindly see
Who is
page.
Dr. Goswami in this matter?
Guruswamy, my lord, my leader. She's the leader, lead counsel from Supreme Court.
Where is he?
She is not being permitted.
He joined court?
That is one. And my lord, your lordship would.
Has he got? Has he joined?
Yes, she's done it, my lord. While Dr. Guruswamy is being added, may I just show your lordship page number 16?
Of your application?
Yes, of my application.
Now kindly have a look at the interim prayer. Therefore, there is no
I-
urgent.
Very unfortunate that I did not interject him.
No, I'm not completed. I've not completed. Then where the question is, you were
Not the
interjected. I've
court
not
to
completed.
decide whether the court wishes to hear
Okay.
or
Good
not.
morning, my lady. I'm glad that I was finally allowed to appear.
Now kindly have a look at the
I,
interim relief that they've asked
And
for.
Happy New Year to you, my lady. It's my first appearance in my ladies' court.
Now, kindly have a
So
look.
I am appearing
Kindly
for
have
the
a-
Trinamool Congress here
Dr.
today
Mineta, I'm addressing the
in
court.
item 1.
It's not
Please
complete.
don't-
In item 1.
Now,
Hello,
kindly
Mr.
have a look at
Raju. Nice to see you
Kindly have a
also.
look at the interim relief that they've asked for, page 20. They've asked that they should not divulge leaking, sharing information of the seized article. Those seized articles are seized by them. No, nothing is seized by the ED. Where's the question of any interim relief?
Not merits, sir.
My lady, I was
Therefore-
following the
No, it's not
proceedings
on
on
merits. It's
YouTube.
not on merits. What I'm saying
I was
is
surprised to
there
hear
is-
Mr.
there is no
Raju
interim
arguing
relief which
maintainability on his
requires an
own
urgent
petition.
hearing.
The first time I've heard
Why
such
is
an
the matter
argument.
being heard today? When I'm saying that the Supreme Court is seized of the matter.
To make our submissions, I believe.
Mr.
No, I believe we are entitled to make our submissions, Mr. Raju.
I'm
Now,
not saying that.
my
I'm
lady-
not saying that, but you're
my
entitled to
lady,
make
I am
the
here.
submissions are that the matter should be adjourned.
May I just
until
be
the
allowed to
Supreme
place
decides
my
on the matter.
point? Because I have waited so patiently and eagerly to just be allowed into my
That's
ladies'
not
court.
my problem. That's not
Yes.
my problem.
No, Mr. Raju, of course, nothing is your problem. But be
Yes.
that as it may,
No,
be
no, no.
that as it
Then
may,
Your ladyship may
my
kindly.
lady,
I have
what
not
is
finished
before my
addressing the
lady?
court. I have not
What is
finished
before my
addressing the court.
lady is,
I have
Okay.
not finished addressing the
Yes.
court.
yes, what is before my lady are 2 petitions.
That's
But
the
I have
order.
not
I am
finished
here-
addressing. If
I
this
am
is the
here
manner
for
in which the
PFC.
proceedings are being done, then your ladyship may do whatever you want. I am not being allowed to complete my submissions.
Let
is
me
the
hear
east-
the petition.
Generally, Mr. Raju, judges are allowed to decide the way they
No,
want.
I'm not saying.
Generally, unless
Yeah,
you're
I'm
saying
not
something
about the
else that
judges.
we are
I
hearing
am,
for the first
yes,
time
but you are
today.
interjecting and you're objecting
Yeah.
and you're intervening when I am addressing the
Yes,
court.
I am the petitioner. Obviously,
yes,
I am the lead petitioner. Obviously, I will want to place my case, Mr. Raju.
No, no, nobody
Forgive me
said
for
that.
expecting this.
No, no,
Forgive
it's
me
not.
for
It's not a
expecting
question of-
this. Yes, my lady, may I just say that the petition, the lead petition before you is the one
Your ladyship is not
602
allowing my
of
request. my ladyship.
2026.
You're rejecting my request.
602 of
Is it rejecting
2026.
my
This is
request?
in the matter of the Trinamool Congress versus the Union of India. Now, in this case, my lady,
I can't hear your ladyship.
our point is
I can't hear your ladyship.
simply this.
Complete and hear you.
Allow
Whenever a maintainability body is being raised, my lord, it should be decided first.
Learned counsel has preliminarily said that this has become infructuous. That is what he wants to sub.
Allow the person to address the
Absolutely.
court.
So in
My
that,
lady, I'm not sure why
Allow
Mr.
the
Raju
person
and
to
the state
complete
is
his
so
submission.
worried. They have
Allow the person
searched,
to
they
complete
have
his submission.
stormed. Now they don't want us to argue. They don't want
What
my
is all
lady
this?
to
What is all
hear.
this?
I mean,
What is
you
all
know,
this
it is an
dramabazi?
extraordinary sign of bullying, in fact, if I
No,
may,
there's no
with
question of
great
bullying.
respect by the state here.
yes,
By the ED here, my lady, by the ED, by the Enforcement Directorate. Now, may I
I am
just say
not
this?
running away from arguing the petition.
Yeah,
I'm
may
saying
I
the
just
Supreme
say,
Court says of
please,
the
my
matter
lady,
that is
the Enforcement Directorate has filed
something.
something in the Supreme Court. We are not party there. We do not know
Yes,
what they
you're on
filed.
caveat. I'm sorry, you're on
Yeah,
caveat.
Mr.
The copy has
Raju
been
says
served on
that,
you.
oh, it's been filed there, therefore you shouldn't
No,
hear
no,
this.
their
My lady,
copy
we
has
want
been
to
served.
say,
What is this? Copy has been served on them. They're on caveat. How can she argue that we don't know what is
I'm very sorry, Mr. Raju, we are not on caveat.
You are on
We
caveat.
are not parties. The Trinamool Congress is not on caveat.
That's the point.
Yes. Now, we are not on caveat. We are not a party. We do not know what the Enforcement Directorate has filed in the Supreme Court. We take Mr. Raju at his word, saying they filed something. Against whom, we don't know. But certainly not us. Now, why I am before my lady, and my lady, it is a privilege for me to be in your court for the first time today. Why I am before is that in this matter, which is the lead matter before you, I want to make 3 points. One, we are not a party in the Supreme Court. We are very happy to be heard by any court. Two, there was a search. Now, all we believe, we are not clear because, you know, the way, the nature of these searches, we don't think anything has been
Well,
seized. If
leadership,
something
if
has
she's
been
claiming
seized, our
ignorance of
privacy
the
may be
petition in the
maintained
Supreme Court, let me
because
please
it
go-
is data belonging to a political party. We live in a constitutional democracy. It's a contentious constitutional democracy. We
Madam,
are in
I've
opposition.
been
That
mute-
is the way
I've
it
been
is. We
muted.
want our
When I want to
political
speak, I've
data
been
to
muted.
be safeguarded. Many judges in Puttuswamy spent a long time hearing and finding that there is a right to privacy, including on the basis of political ideology. And political data forms a part of political ideology, which is protected by a very large constitutional bench of this country. And it is constitutional jurisprudence and ethos in this country, which is at trial today. That is why I am before my lady. And that is why, Mr. Raju, I wanted to make my point,
No,
if
no.
you will allow me to.
As
So,
far as
Mr.
privacy is
Raju's
concerned,
argument that
it
we
has
are
been
before
dealt
the
with in-
Supreme Court
the
on
challenge
caveat
was made
is
to Section
factually
70.
wrong. I am saying this as an officer of the court on the record. We are not a party. We are not in caveat. Now, what is before you is a matter which my lady may please hear and dispose of. We only respectfully request as
My
a
lord, somebody
veteran
is
and
putting you on mute.
determined
This is totally
political
unfair.
party that our political data be protected,
Put on mute. If
not
this is the way
released,
proceedings
and
are
not
going on, how
released to
can
the
I argue?
media, and not used in a political fashion against us.
Again, I'm put on
This
mute.
is our
Again, I'm
political
being
data.
put on mute.
And in those terms, my lady, we respectfully come to my lady to then dispose of this matter as my lady sees fit. Because unlike Mr. Raju, I don't try to bully courts.
No, I never bully court.
So I
Don't
want
say
to
it.
be
Don't
very
include
clear. So
something
that
which
is why I'm here
unwarranted.
today.
Totally false. How does she say that I'm bullying courts?
India
Where am I
charged
bullying the court?
petitions. So let me hear him.
No, no.
Very well, my lady.
May only submit, your ladyship may permit me to
Structures
place on record the petitions which have been filed in the Supreme Court. Will the ladyship permit me?
Academic exercise which will happen. Let him say. Huh, it has.
Mr. Banerjee has submitted that it has become.
Let him say.
That's not the submission of Ms. Dr. Goswami at all.
No, I'm saying we are not a party in the Supreme Court. That is what I'm saying.
For preservation of the political
How
data.
does she know? Without seeing my petition, how does she know?
Case status, Mr. Raju, case status.
What
It
case
is all
status?
available online now.
There is no case status. There is no case status.
And we are not on caveat.
Let me hear the Union of India, please.
Yes, please.
Yes.
First
Our
objection
petition may
is,
be disposed in those terms.
I
That
am-
as long as our data is protected, we have been heard. That is all we are asking for.
she is not Union of India. The court wants to hear of Union of India. Who is browbeating the court?
Union of India is here.
A second, my mic is being.
Yes.
Kindly takes the.
Kindly have a look. Kindly have a look, your ladyship.
Sir,
Every
sir,
second, my mic is being muted.
ask you not to intervene, please. I request you not to intervene. Let me hear the Union of India.
I'm also representing the Union of India. I am ED. I am the Additional Solicitor General. Let me make the submissions. I'm representing both. Mr. Banerjee may supplement what I say. But as far as I am concerned, I'm the Additional Solicitor General. I have the authority to represent the Union of India.
And what you have said. Let us
Yes,
hear.
now there is something I've not completed. She has barged in, and every time I want to speak, somebody who has the control of the mic switches off the mic. This is how the proceedings are going on. I'm sorry. It's a very sorry state of affairs. Every second my mic is being unmuted. This is not how the proceedings should go on in a court.
Your Lordship, can you take some of the repetition itself?
Yes.
Again, my mic is muted. I have strong objection. Why is my mic being muted when I'm speaking?
Not muted, sir. But please do.
Your ladyship will kindly see somebody is playing mischief. Somebody is playing mischief and muting my mic. This can't be done. This should not be allowed. This would amount to interference with the administration of justice. This may amount to contempt.
Our submission is going to the extent of disturbing the court proceedings, sir. I'm really sorry to say
I'm
this.
sorry. I'm not sorry. Let me make my submission. Now I'll make the submissions.
Hear him. He's challenging maintainability. Let me hear him.
He is also my
Yes.
leader, my lord. He is the Additional Solicitor General of India.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so far as maintainability point is concerned, my lord, Mr. Raju also may submit all these things.
Mr. Banerjee may submit, then I'll supplement what he says, my lord.
No, he's only on the point that Supreme Court is
Supreme
assessing
Court,
of
when
the
the matter
matter.
is pending,
So
my
the
lord,
matter may be adjourned. That is his
when the
point,
matter is
yes.
pending with the Honorable
But you
Supreme
are
Court.
challenging maintainability.
I am challenging the maintainability
Please
itself, my
make
lord,
your
and
submission.
my second submission would be, my lord, when the matter is also pending with the Honorable Supreme
Maintainability on what issue? Please
Maintainability
tell
on,
me.
yes, kindly take the repetition itself.
Yes.
But this repetition was filed by All India Trinamool Congress.
Yes.
Now, my lord, address is 30B Horish Chatterjee Street. My lord, your lordship would get the, my lord, address, my lord, the custodial itself. Now, my lord, your lordship, my lord, kindly see paragraph 3, page 4.
Yes.
The petitioner is filing the instant repetition is being aggrieved by the colorable exercise of powers by the respondents and for infringement of Article 21 of the Constitution of India 1950 to sabotage the fair process of West Bengal Legislative Assembly election 2026 in the garb of an alleged and purported search and seizure under Section 17 of the Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002 at the office of IPAC being situated at Godrej Waterside, tower number such and such, West Bengal, as well as flat number 3, Lawton Street, Lawton Mansion, Lawton Street, Kolkata 17. So, my lord, the rich petitioner is basically espousing the cause, my lord, in respect of the search and seizure conducted at different place. The address is different, my lord. Your lordship, my lord, kindly tell you the address. So far as these address and the rich petitioner's address is absolutely different. Now, my lord, kindly tell, my lord, next, my lord, paragraph, page 6.
Yes.
Page 6, my lord, after B and C, the last paragraph. It is thus apparent the seizure of such documents falling under the above mentioned categories shall have a severe impact upon the conducting the fair election process in ensuing West Bengal Legislative Assembly election 2026, and accordingly such improper and illegal seizure has caused severe prejudice to the petitioner herein. Now, my lord, if it is a election process, if you have infected the election process of 2026, my lord, ECI has to be made party in this case. Election Commission of India has not been implicated as a party in these proceedings. Now, my lord, the entire repetition is based on, my lord, 2026 election is yet to be notified. Now, my lord, may I just place? The petitioner has not received any notice from the respondent number 2 and 3 under the relevant provisions of the PMLA in the recent times, which intends the respondent number 2 and 3 to seize any relevant and confidential record document data of the petitioner. Relevant newspaper reports, my lord, annexed. Now, my lord, kindly see, my lord, next, paragraph 8. Page 8, paragraph 8.
Yes.
The petitioner states the petitioner has been actively involved in protesting and standing up against the harassment faced by the common man in the state of West Bengal due to the recent implementation of the SIR, the Special Intensive Revision process by the Election Commission. In the said implementation process is marked by mismanagement, capacity, misconduct, and maladministrations, inefficiency, and harassment for the common people of the state of West Bengal. Neither the Election Commission nor the central ruling party has any answer to the prolonged suffering caused due to such implementation. We have recently seen the people of Bihar were also subjected to similar harassment. It is only when the chairperson of the petitioner threatened to knocked on the door of the Honorable Apex Court, the respondent number 2 and 3 have come up with a unique idea of conducting the said search and seizure at the petitioner's political strategies office and its director's residence. So, my lord, this writ petition, my lord, basically, my lord, in respect of, my lord, SIR. Now, my lord, if it is in respect of SIR, my lord, then also, my lord, same thing will come, my lord, Election Commission of India is to be implemented as a party to these proceedings. Now, my lord, let me proceed further. Paragraph 9. Paragraph 9 says, my lord, petitioner further states the respondent number 2 and 3 are known to leak and share the confidential data relating to his investigations to the media and other stakeholders. The same has been widely reported, and such conduct on the respondents has been routinely criticized by the various courts of law. Such history of the respondent number 2 and 3 makes the petitioner even more apprehensive, since the respondent number 2 and 3 is deliberately engaged in a sham search seizure, operating only to gather the sensitive and confidential data of the petitioner. So, my lord, the search was conducted at the house of somebody else. The petitioner is coming saying that my data was there in respect of somebody's house. Now, my lord, the writ petition, my lord, a writ petition can be filed by a person, my lord, whose right, legal right, fundamental right, or any other right has been infringed. By what is the legal right, what is the fundamental right has been infringed in respect of this writ petition is concerned. Kindly see the prayers. Now, prior to that, my lord, kindly turn, my lord, page 10, paragraph 11 once. The petitioner states the confidential data which have been seized by the respondent number 2 and 3 form an integral part of the right to privacy as guaranteed on Article 21 of the Constitution of India. Moreover, the petitioner, being a recognized political party being registered under the Representation of People Act 1951, is entitled to enlarge and participate in free and fair campaign and electoral process, which is an integral part of the democracy as guaranteed under on Article 19 of the Constitution of India. In the said conspector, it shows that without saying the political parties, much like the petitioners, are commitment on the democratic process, and therefore the conditions must exist where all the political parties, including the petitioners, can carry on its political activities on the just and powerful atmosphere. To halt and impair such democratic process and to restrain the petitioner to pursue in the electoral process, the respondent number 2 and 3 have adopted such approach to steal the private and confidential data of the petitioner on the ground of the purported search and seizure procedure, which is per se illegal. Hence, it is a bounden duty of the petitioner to convert the overzealous protect to the right of the petitioner and consequently the protect and preserve such confidential data from being circulated or divulged to any entities at the behest of the respondent number 2 and 3. Now, paragraph 12 says, petitioner states the purported search and seizure operation carried out by the respondent number 2 and 3 is a colorable exercise of statutory power, undertaking not for the purpose of justifiable investigations, for the oblique motive assessing and getting control of the confidential and sensitive data relating to the petitioner's electioneer's process. Now, kindly consider the entire writ petition. He is based on election. The entire writ petition does not say anything about the infringement of any fundamental right. Now, so far as data is concerned, whether I'm asking the question to myself, if the data was there at the office of IPAC, if it is seized by somebody while conducting the investigations, how it is connected to the petitioner? Now, kindly see, the prayer. Prior to that, kindly see, paragraph 14 once.
Yes.
Paragraph 14 says, my lord, the petitioner states that there is no proximity or casual nexus between the purported process of crime and the data and document information being seized by the respondent number 2 and 3. As such, the action and overaction on the part of the respondent number 2 and 3 in seizing the private and confidential and sensitive data information documents are expressly illegal. Now, somebody's data has been seized from the house of somebody. He should come forward. Now, in this petition, IPAC, can you see who is the respondent number 4 in this petition? He has been implemented as pro forma respondent.
Yes.
There is no term in law known as pro forma respondent. So he is a respondent. The respondent number 4 should have filed a petition and saying that, look here, the search seizure was conducted at my house is absolutely illegal. It is in violation of section 17 or section 50 of the PMLA Act. There is no petition has come forward. Respondent number 4 did not file any petition. Now, kindly see the prayer. Kindly turn page 16.
Yes.
Kindly see page 16, prayer B. Prayer A, I'm just a writ of or in the nature, a writs or orders in the nature of mandamus declaring that the action and overaction on the part of the respondent number 2 and 3 to seize and continue to process private, confidential, and sensitive data, information, documents of the petitioner, and in relation to the operations, affairs, business of the petitioners in the graph of the purported search and seizure operation is bad and illegal. Next, Milord, can you see? An order or a writ or order in the nature of mandamus directing the respondents to return all the articles, including but not yes, but not limited to the private, confidential, and sensitive data, information, documents illegally seized in the physical as well as electronic form belonging to the petitioners and or in relation to the operations, affairs, business of the petitioners illegally seized during the alleged search operation. Next, my lord, a writ or a writs in the nature of mandamus directing the respondent authorities to act strictly in accordance with the law and forbear themselves from harassing the petitioners and its main agent assigns in connection with the subject matter investigations and from taking any coercive steps against the petitioner and its main agents assigns on the pretext of ongoing investigation. Writ in the nature, writ or writs in the nature of mandamus declaring that all actions taken by the respondent authorities so far as the petitioner and the private, confidential, and sensitive data, information, documents of the petitioner and in relation to the operations, affairs, business of the petitioners illegally seized in physical as well as electronic form are as void and illegal. Writ or writ in the nature of prohibitions restraining the respondent authorities and their main agents dealing with and divulging, leaking, sharing informations from the seized article and data informations belonging to the petitioners and in relation to the operations, affairs, and business of the petitioners in any manner whatsoever. Next, my lord, prayer G. A writ or writ in the writs in the nature of statutory directing the respondent authorities to produce the entire records pertaining to the subject investigations wherein the aforesaid search and seizure operation has been conducted and the private and confidential sensitive data, information, documents of the petitioners and in relations to the operations, affairs, business of the petitioners that have been illegally seized in physical as well as electronic form before the normal court so that the considerable justice may be done by passing orders as prayed for herein above. Now, will kindly see pair J. Interim order restraining the respondent authorities and their main agents dealing with and divulging, leaking, sharing informations from the seized articles and informations belonging to the petitioners and in relation to the operation, affairs, business of the petitioners in any manner whatsoever. Now, my lord, interim order also asks for in terms of the pairs made in the earlier.
The petitioner is primarily on this spread.
Yes. Now, my lord, kindly consider.
May I now supplement? Mr. Banerjee, let me supplement now, please. Yes, kindly let me supplement your leadership. May kindly first have a look at two points as far as the maintainability is concerned.
Yes.
The record, if any, which was seized by Mamata Banerjee. Therefore, these prayers of returning of the assets which are seized is not maintainable unless Mamata Banerjee is made a party. Because that is our case, that Mamata Banerjee to physically seized all the record and the digital devices from the premises and she has taken possession of them illegally and committed an offense, which petition is pending. Unless Mamata Banerjee is made a party who is in possession of illegal possession of these articles, these prayers and this writ petition is not maintainable. So in the absence of Mamata Banerjee being made a party and in the absence of the DG of police and the police commissioner who have abetted the offense, if these prayers can't be granted because no record has been seized by the ED, all records have been seized illegally by Mamata Banerjee and her cohorts. Therefore, the first thing is this is not maintainable because Mamata Banerjee and the persons who have seized are not made parties. Secondly, kindly have a look at the affidavit at page 23.
Yes.
This petition is filed by a person who has no knowledge, who is a stranger, nothing. Now kindly look at the person who has filed the affidavit at page 23.
He has been
I, Subhashis Chakravarti, son of late P.P. Chakravarti, aged 68 years by faith, Hindu by occupation, self-employed and residing at 39 MG Road, so-and-so, Calcutta, 700822, hereby solemnly affirm and says as follows, that I am the authorized signatory of the petitioner. Kindly look at who is the petitioner. I'll come back herein. That I am well acquainted with the facts and circumstances of the case. As such, I am competent to sign and affirm the affidavit. How does he become acquainted? He was not there at the search. He was nothing to do with the search. Now kindly have a look at the cause title and I'll show who is the petitioner is Trinamool Congress. Kindly have a look at page 1 of the petition. The petitioner is All India Trinamool Congress. So he is an authorized. Come back to page 23.
Yes.
He is an authorized signatory of the petitioner. Where is that authority? There is no authority produced along with the petition. That is the authorized signatory. And now further, how does he become well acquainted with the facts? Was he present when the seizure took place? Was he present when the search was taking place? Was he present in the so-called material was seized? No, he was not present. It's nobody's case. It's not even his case in the petition. I'll take your honor ladyship to that petition. I'll come to that a little later. Now he says, the statements contained in paragraphs 1 to 9, 17 and 19 are true to my knowledge. False statement on oath. He is supposed to be taken forward. He was not present anywhere. And rest are my respectful humble submission. Now kindly have a look at paras 1 to 9 of the petition. I will read the petition to show he was nowhere in the picture. He could not have filed this petition.
Yes.
Now kindly have a look after the points of law are concerned. Para 1. Petitioner is a recognized political party, namely All India Trinamool Congress. This is page 3 I'm reading. Your ladyship has got it?
Yes.
Petitioner is a recognized political party, namely All India Trinamool Congress, AITC, formed under Section 29A of the Representation of People's Act, represented by Mr. Subhashish Chakravarti being its authorized representative. The petitioner is currently in power in the state of West Bengal pursuant to a landslide victory in the West Bengal Legislative Assembly election 2021. Having defeated all the other rival political parties, including the Bharatiya Janata Party, petitioner is contesting the ensuing West Bengal Legislative Assembly elections 2026 by fielding candidates in all 294 assembly constituencies in the state of West Bengal. The petitioner has its office at the address mentioned here. The respondent numbers 1 to 3 are the state within the meaning of Article 12 of the Constitution of India, and as such are amenable to the writ judicium of this honorable court. Respondent numbers 2 and 3 are commonly known as the Enforcement Directorate, which is responsible for conducting investigations under the PMLA.
Getting to point out, sir.
No, because I'm showing that he has made a false affidavit of what he has said, does not disclose that he has knowledge about the search and search, therefore false affidavit. Therefore, I have to read these paragraphs. Para 3. The petitioner is filing this instant writ petition being aggrieved by the colorable exercise of powers by the respondents and the infringement of Article 21. He said, this is true to my knowledge. This is true to his knowledge. Fair procedure of West Bengal Legislative Assembly 20 in the garb of all alleged and purported search and seizure under Section 17 of Prevention of Malundering. The fact that Section 17 powers, what powers they have, are pending. This is pending before the Supreme Court in the matter of TASBAC. That also I'll point out. This very issue about the scope and power of Section 17, which is there, is challenged before the Supreme Court, is pending. The Supreme Court is seized with this matter on Section 17. Now, your ladyship may kindly have a look, referred to as PMLA, at the office of IPAC being situated Godrej Water site so-and-so, as well as flat number 3 so-and-so. So it is at some other place, as my colleague Mr. Banerjee has pointed out, nothing to do with Trinamool Congress. And the person whose premises are seized has not come before your honor and complained about the seizure. Kindly note this. Petitioner states that the Indian Political Action Committee, IPAC, is a professional political consulting organization, provides strategic research, communication on ground of campaign to support political parties, leaders across India. In the process, the group helps them set a citizen-centric agenda, partners with leaders to conceptualize and implement the most effective methods of taking it to the public and gathering mass support. IPAC has been associated with the petitioner for approximately 6 years, providing end-to-end 360 degrees campaign support.
Sir, not the entire writ petition. I have
No,
gone
I'm saying, because he said paras 1 to 9, I'm showing that this doesn't show anything about his.
the entire writ petition.
I'm not reading the entire, I'm saying, showing the paragraphs which he said, paras 1 to 9 is what he refers in the affidavit. He says, this is true to my knowledge. Now, kindly have a look. How does he get the knowledge? How is he concerned? Not a whisper in the entire petition. Now kindly have a look at a judgment of this honorable court, which is binding to your ladyship. CRM SB 53 of 22. My colleague must be giving a copy to your ladyship.
Yes,
The judgment.
sir is referring to.
Apex Marine Services LLC versus State of West Bengal.
Actually, you are addressing, that's why.
It's not us.
There's a break now.
Till my learned friend gets a printout, my lord, may I proceed further, my lord?
Sir, I'm just
Now,
giving you a copy.
you've given a copy to the honorable court.
So you kindly refer the judgment. I'll give the copy here and now.
The judgment is CRM SB 53 of 2022.
Sir.
In application and in the matter of Apex Marine Services LLC.
Is that the citation, sir? Citation would be
It is
useful.
it is unreported judgment. Versus State of West Bengal.
I'm saying. It is for everybody. It is unreported order in CRM SB 53 of 2022, dated 19/4/2022, in the matter of Apex Marine Service LLC and Prabhu Shipping Lines Private Limited versus State of West Bengal. I'm handing over a copy to Mr. Banerjee on my tab. Please, I'm getting the printout. Please accommodate.
CRM SB 53.
Sir, you may proceed. Sir, you may proceed.
Now kindly have a look at, I'm reading from the second page, second paragraph. I read from second. At the outset, Mr. Ayan Bhattacharya, learned advocate for respondent number 2 has raised a technical objection. He takes me to page 22 of the application for cancellation of bail. Page 22 of the said application contains affidavit sworn by the constituted attorney of the complainant petitioner. In para 2 of the affidavit, the deponent has made the following affirmation: that the statements made in para 1 to 30 are information derived from the record, which I verify and believe to be true, and rest are my humble submission before this honorable court. It is submitted to Bhattacharya, learned counsel for the respondent, that the application contains 31 paragraphs, out of which paragraphs 1 to 30 are stated to be information derived by the deponent from the records. Mr. Bhattacharya then refers to various paragraphs of the application. That is why I was referring to those paragraphs, not because I wanted to delay the proceedings, because the affidavit contains that it is to my knowledge, paras 1 to 9. Mr. Bhattacharya then refers to various paragraphs of the application, submit that statements made by the petition, the application for cancellation of bail cannot be said to be a matter of record, as the application is not informed. Mr. Bhattacharya prays that outright rejection of the same. In support of the contention, he refers to Rule 27 and 28 of Chapter 4 of the Appellate Side Rules. The above mentioned rules are quoted below. 27. When the declarant in any affidavit speaks of any fact within his knowledge, he shall do so directly and positive, using the words I affirm and say. When the particular fact is not within the declarant's own knowledge, but is stated from information obtained from others, the declarant shall use the expression I am informed, and if such be the case, should add and verify believed to be true. So nothing is from his knowledge. His derived information, and this portion of Rule 28 is violated. And he must also state the source from which he received such information. When the statement rests on facts disclosed in documents or copies of documents procured from any court of justice or other source, the deponent shall state what is the source from which they are procured, and its information or belief as to the truth of the fact disclosed in such documents. Copies of documents other than those on record of the case to which it is in.
Supplementary affidavit. The petitioner was allowed to cure the defect by filing a supplementary affidavit. The writ petition was
I
not.
have not received it. I have to be given, therefore let it be adjourned. I have to have a look at the copy of the affidavit. If it does it behind my back,
In this matter, the petitioner was directed to file a supplementary.
I am not aware of this. This is coming for the first time to my knowledge. Your ladyship, I must know what is the affidavit that he has filed.
No, sir, Honorable Court is referring to the judgment which you are citing. Factual
Yes, I'm sorry. Judgment, yes. That was, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My ladyship is referring, yes. Therefore, let me read 28. I'll complete the judgment. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, your ladyship.
Please come to the concluding part.
I'm just let me read this, please. When the particular fact is not within the Rule 28, when the particular fact is not within the declarant's own knowledge, but stated from information obtained from others, the declarant shall use the expression I'm informed, and if such be the case, should add and verify, believe it to be true. And he must also state the source from which he receives such information. When the statement rests on facts disclosed in documents or copies of documents procured from any court of justice or other source, the deponent shall state what is the source from which they were procured, and his information or belief as to the truth of the facts disclosed in such documents. Copies of documents other than those on record of the case to which it is intended that reference should be made at the time of hearing shall be annexed to the affidavit and is marked as exhibit, as an exhibit shall bear the certificate of the commissioner before whom the affidavit is made. It is further submitted by Mr. Banerjee that in view of the provisions contained in Article 215 of the Constitution of India, the High Court is a court of record. Therefore, defective application cannot be retained in the record, and such application should be rejected. And further refers to decision of the Constitution Bench of the Supreme Court in State of Bombay versus so and so. Paragraph 16 of said decision is relevant. We wish to, however, observe that the verification of affidavit produced here is defective. The body of the affidavit discloses certain matters are known to the secretary who made the affidavit personally. Verifying, however, states that everything was true to the best of the information belief. We pointed out this slipshod verification of the type might well be given in a case lead to rejection of the affidavit. Verification should variably model in the lines of Order 19, Rule 3 of the CPC, whether code applies in terms or not. And then in subsequent case in LR Shivama Ramagowda and others versus TM Chandrasekhar by and LRs and others reported in 1999, 1 SCC 666 at page 672, the Honorable Supreme Court made the same observation. Mr. Imtiaz, learned advocate for petitioner, does not dispute that the affidavit was wrongly affirmed by the deponent. He prayed the liberty to file a supplementary affidavit to rectify the error. Now, your ladyship is right. Here, there is no such prayer. Now, I'll take to your ladyship what is the implication of this affidavit. I'll come to that. Situation as to whether the application will outright to be rejected for the error or defect of the affidavit is dealt with by the court in so and so, reported in so and so. It is observed that the court, while considering rule so and so, affirmation not made as per rules 27 is curable defect and leave is granted to remove the said defect in the affidavit before the commissioner by filing supplementary affidavit. Then, in view of the above decision of this court interpreting rules 27 and 20 of chapter 4 of the appellate side, the court is of the considered view that no fruitful person served with the application and about technical ground, the defect may be cured and directed reponent to supplement the affidavit in accordance with the appellate side rules. It has to be cured. Therefore, before entertaining this application, the defect has to be cured. I'll tell you, ladyship, why in the present case the defect can't be cured, because the defect goes to the root of the matter. It is a false affidavit leading to perjury, which would entail filing of an application under 340 of the CRPC. Now, kindly have a look at the petition again. The petitioner is not concerned, not the petitioner, the person who has filed the affidavit is not concerned, not present at the places of search. The places of search are at the residence of one Pratik Jain and the office of IPAC. He has nothing to do with these two premises. Therefore, search conducted by the ED in those two premises, he is not concerned. He is not a representative of either Pratik Jain or IPAC. These two, therefore, he is unconnected with the place of search, number one. Number two, it is not his case that he was present during the time and place of search.
He has
So
never said that.
Therefore, the petition is not, I am obliged, therefore the petition is not maintainable. How can a third person who has not seen anything, not done anything, not knowing anything, file a petition, make allegation? Therefore, the petition is, I am obliged to this question from my ladyship. The person is unconnected to the incident. Person unconnected to the incident who has no knowledge, no information, doesn't say that he received information from some source. Even if he has said that and revealed the source, it would have been a different matter. Doesn't say that. Therefore, the petition is filed by an incompetent person who could not have filed the petition and who could not have sworn to the correctness of the facts in the petition. The person who files a petition must be one who should be able to swear to the correctness of the facts stated in the petition. That person would be a person who has knowledge, would be a person who has derived information from some source. If he falls in the second category, he must disclose the source. This is not done. He doesn't fall in the first category because it is not first-hand information. He was never present anywhere. Therefore, the petition is not maintainable on the face of it by a person who had nothing to. How does he know that any documents were seized? How does he know that anything was seized? It is his imagination.
May I respond, my lady?
No, no.
Right, sir. That's all
Yes.
I have not completed. Let me complete. Therefore, the petition by a person who doesn't know what has happened, who was not present at that place, who doesn't rely on any source information to make these amendments, has filed the petition. Therefore, on this limited ground alone, the petition is required to be rejected. This is one point. Now kindly have a look.
Point of
Get it as much matter. As to the scope and power of the ED to conduct a search, the Supreme Court is seized.
Maintainability issue, nothing further at the moment.
No, I'm making I'm giving the submission.
Part of the ED for now. We are only on maintainability of
Yes,
the.
I'm on maintainability. I'm on maintainability as far as this petition is concerned.
Play now.
That's my petition law.
Writ petition 23 of 24.
There is writ petition 23 of 24, where the scope of section 17 of the PMLA is being examined by the Supreme Court. Kindly have a look at section 17 of the PMLA.
That's a different issue altogether, sir. I will not deal with that at the moment.
No, I'm saying this is the issue of search. Kindly look at the prayers. It is directly concerned with the prayers. Kindly have a look at section 17 on the prayers.
Maintainability issue, I'll hear the other side now.
This is no, I've not completed my maintainability issue.
Please
I
confine
have not
it.
completed. Your ladyship may say that without allowing me to complete, your ladyship wants to hear the other side, your ladyship may do so. But I have not completed my submissions on maintainability.
Please confine your argument to maintainability.
Yes, I'm confining my submission to maintainability. I'm addressing on merits. I'm not addressing on merits. Now, therefore, to maintainability, now kindly come back to the prayer, your ladyship.
So that has already been pointed out by your junior.
Therefore, I'm pointing out from that one. Your ladyship may kindly have looked.
It's already pointed out, sir. Do you want to add anything to that?
Yes, I'm adding on it. The prayer is to declare inter alia the action of the ED to seize and continue to possess private, so-called private, confidential, sensitive data. What is the sensitive data? Nothing. As vague as anything. What was the sensitive data seized by ED? Nothing.
I'm sorry.
I'm on the maintainability. I'm on the maintainability now.
You made these points already.
No, he has not made this, but what has been seized, it is on the ground of vagueness. Also, the petition is required to be rejected. That the petition suffers from the vice of vagueness without specifying what is the data seized, what is the private data seized by ED. The petition would suffer from the vice of vagueness, and if it suffers from the vice of vagueness, it is required to be rejected at the threshold. Secondly, your ladyship may kindly have a look. The power to seize flows from section 17 of the PMLA Act. That's power to seize under section 17 with what powers the ED has, whether the ED has powers to seize sensitive data or not.
Please do not make these submissions now, sir.
If
Please
your
confine your argument to
ladyship may cut my submissions, record it. I have no objection. My ladyship may record that you're not allowing me to make full submissions and cutting me in the nip.
Absolutely.
Your ladyship may say so.
Only on maintainability that we are dealing.
I am arguing on maintainability. I know my limits. I am arguing on maintainability. I am not exceeding my limits. But still, if your ladyship wants to curtail me, nip me in the bud, that's your ladyship's prerogative. I can't say anything. But I am addressing your ladyship only on maintainability. Your ladyship may prevent me. I will bow down to, because ultimately I have to bow down to the wishes of your ladyship. But my submission is that I am making submissions only on maintainability, and those submissions are not being, I am not being permitted to be made.
To section 17 and the powers of ED.
Now, therefore, now I'll tell your ladyship on maintainability as far as section 17 and powers of ED is concerned. Your ladyship may hear me. The power to search and seize flows from section 17 of the PMLA Act. What is the scope of section 17 is being examined by the Supreme Court. Get the other judgment.
Sir, please do not reiterate your submission, sir.
I'm not reiterating. I'm not reiterating.
Many times.
No, I am not. I will not repeat.
Spending time for nothing. Please do not do this. We are aware that the Supreme Court is in session of the matter.
Yes. Your ladyship is right. I have said that the Supreme Court is session of the matter.
Not dealing with section 17 here.
No,
Now,
but they're not, kindly, therefore, I'll point out how this petition pertains to section 17. Kindly look at the prayer and then I'll show what section 17 is. That is their cleverness. They've drafted it in such a manner that section 17 does, but the powers flow from section 17. The powers to search and seize flow from section 17. Whether you have the right to seize, search is being examined by the Supreme Court in another batch of petitions. I will give the writ petition number. Therefore, kindly have a look at the prayer in the context of what is prayed for. Two types of prayers are made, Your Ladyship. One is regarding the power scope of ED to seize certain types of documents. Second is their case that private confidential documents are seized. Therefore, this can't be done. These two, both these matters are sub judice before the Supreme Court. I'll point out those two judgments, not the judge.
only on one issue now, sir. I hope you have heard the submissions.
No.
The petitioner only asks for preservation of the political data, allegedly political data.
Grateful.
That's all.
Now, kindly, I'm obliged. If your ladyship is confining it, hear me for a minute. Why this is not maintainable?
Grateful.
Why this prayer is not maintainable? Hear me for a moment. Now, maintaining data would arise if I've seized the data, if it is in my possession.
So you have already said that, sir. You have already made that.
Therefore, if it is not seized, how can I maintain it? Therefore, the petition is not maintainable because it makes false averments that I've seized data. The data is seized by Mamata Banerjee. The prayer should be made against Mamata Banerjee. In fact, we would like that prayer to be made. We'll support them if they make that prayer against Mamata Banerjee. Therefore, where is the averment that we have seized it? What data we have seized? What data we have to be? The courts cannot give a direction to seize something which is vague and which is not certain. We have not seized. I am making a statement. ED has not seized anything because when we wanted to seize, after taking into possession, Mamata Banerjee has taken away those documents and digital devices. That is our case before the Supreme Court.
Time, sir. I have taken a note.
Therefore, the prayer against us is not maintainable. Therefore, the petition is not maintainable as far as preservation of data. If what data we have to preserve, we have not seized anything. We don't have possession of anything. Therefore, that my statement may be recorded.
That's all. I'll record.
Therefore, that prayer is therefore the petition is not maintainable.
Very well. Let me hear the.
Can I respond,
Now,
my
there are
lady?
two things. I'll finish off early as far as two other submissions are concerned. Number one, what we can say is when we can search is subject matter of petition of task mark, which is writ petition number 23. What is the writ petition?
Anything to add?
I will, which is writ petition number 395 of, no, that is the other, TASMAC. TASMAC petition.
Anything to add, sir?
No, this is.
So that's.
I'll give the number of petitions which are pending on this point. SLP criminal 80448 of and 8049 of 2025. This is TASMAC regarding the power and scope of ED to seize and search documents. That is 80. Then as far as Supreme Court guidelines for search and seizure of digital devices pending before the Supreme Court, may I give the case numbers? Foundation of Medical Professionals versus Union of India, writ petition criminal 395 of 22. Then Amazon Sellers Services Private Limited versus Directorate of Enforcement, writ petition civil 1081 of 22. TPK News Click Private Limited versus Union of India, writ petition criminal 679 of 23. Future Gaming and Hotel Services Private Limited versus Directorate of Information, writ petition criminal 515 of 24. I'll give a list. View Now Infotech Private Limited versus ED, writ petition criminal 63 of 25. State of Tamil Nadu versus Director of Enforcement, special criminal number, SLP criminal number 7958 of 25. And the last one is the attachment. So all these matters in the Supreme Court are seized with the powers of ED to seize documents, including private documents. This matter is live and kicking before the Supreme Court. Therefore, when the matter is live and kicking before the Supreme Court, the judicial propriety requires, not in the second matter also, that this honorable court should not hear the matter. That is the judgment of D.K. Trivedi.
Second matter is your matter, sir. I'll adjourn it on your prayer.
No, even the first matter, I am on the first, I am conscious. Second matter also, all these judgments and all this I'm citing with respect to the second matter. First matter is our own petition.
First matter is no longer on merits now. They are requesting a very limited direction. So let me hear, sir. Let me hear
No,
the.
I'm on the verge of completion.
May I respond now?
I'm on the verge of completion. As far my ladyship has not understand and I'm not made myself clear as far as what I'm submitting. I'm submitting as far as second petition is concerned. As far as second petition is concerned, all the issues which they have raised is live and kicking before the Supreme Court in large number of cases, the list of which I've just mentioned orally. That is with respect to second petition. Now, if such a petition
may
is
I just
pending,
respond,
kindly
Mr.
have a
Raju,
look
to your
at
eloquent
1986.
arguments?
Kindly have a look at one last judgment, then I'll be over. 1986, supplementary SCC, page 20, para 83.
1986.
1986, supplementary SCC, page 20, para 83. I have said that the issues in the second petition are being argued and heard before the Supreme Court.
Yes, you're referring to paragraph?
Paragraph 83 of this judgment. This is not with respect, kindly, I should not be misunderstood. It is with respect to the second batch of petitions. First batch, your ladyship is clear, I am obliged for that. Second batch of petitions. Civil appeals 1525 and 1526 of 1982 are directed against the order of the Gujarat High Court dismissing the writ petitions filed by the appellants challenging the constitutionality of section 15 of the Mines and Minerals Regulation Development Act 1957 and validity of notification number so and so dated June 8, 1881 and directed the appellants to approach the Supreme Court as similar matters were pending there. In our opinion, the course adopted by the High Court was not correct. If the High Court thought that the point raised by the appellants was the same as was pending in this court, it ought to have stayed the hearing of the writ petition until this court disposed of the other matters. So if I pointed out that similar matters are pending before the Supreme Court with respect to the second petition. First petition is my matter. Second petition I pointed out on the scope of 17 petitions are pending. There's item number 2. I'm making submissions of item number 1. Item number 2 is mine, where your ladyship is with me as far as adjourning the matter is concerned. With respect to item number 1 is concerned, I pointed out that issue of section 17 is pending before the Supreme Court. Issue of seizure of sensitive data, how it is to be done, private is also pending before the Supreme Court. If that is pending, in view of this judgment of the Supreme Court, which is binding, this matter should be adjourned till those matters are decided. And one more judgment in this point.
Let's respond, my lady, now.
Now,
Before
one more
we
judgment.
Get to 4 p.m.
One more judgment. I'm sorry, I have not completed. Where No, all right, leave it. This is all that I have to submit on maintainability. And my other submission is, I may be permitted to file an affidavit on maintainability before your ladyship decides to hear the matter. I want to file an affidavit and bring everything on record and point out all those petitions which are there. Your ladyship may grant me time to file an affidavit and place all this material on record. And thereafter, your ladyship may hear the other side, because this is a preliminary objection which I have raised. Orally I have raised. I want to put everything on affidavit. I want to produce all those documents, and I want to show the Supreme Court judgment and show everything which I have stated.
Come back with an affidavit.
I'll come back.
My lady, may I just respond to Mr. Raju's arguments?
Dr.
Till then, the hearing may
Yes.
be kept on evidence.
I have a request.
Yes.
Come back with an affidavit with all these issues, with all these
I'm
points.
just going to take 2
I'll
minutes, my
come back.
lady. 2 minutes.
I'll come
It's
back.
unclear to me. But may I just
I'll
take
come back.
2
Your
minutes?
ladyship may give me about 2 weeks time. I'll come back.
Nothing is required, my lady. May I just make 2 points?
No.
One, Mr. Raju's statement may be recorded as he's appearing for the Enforcement Directorate that nothing was seized. He has asked my lady to record that. I will also join him in this request. It is probably
there
the
was
only
present.
request we'll ever make
Cover
together
everything.
on something. So that's the first point. The
Yes,
second point
I
is
will not
this.
make a wrong
The
statement.
Yes, absolutely. I know you won't make a wrong statement.
I said
Therefore,
it
I'm
is not in my
respectfully
possession.
requesting.
It is not in my
Now, please
possession.
don't interrupt me, Mr. Raju. I didn't interrupt you. I heard you. Now, please
Court
don't
is
interrupt
suggesting
me.
something,
Okay,
yes.
so the first thing I want to say, personal political data, which is relevant to a well-established political party that ED may have seized. That is the width of it, and that is protected by Puttuswamy. That is the second. It's para 11 of our petition. I'm not going to read the petition. It's been read to my lady too many times today for such a short petition. I imagine what would have happened if Keshavananda's petition was read and reread in this fashion. But be that as it may. Point 3, and I want to make this point. It is inappropriate and unbecoming to bully a political party which has filed a petition at the time when it believed that personal data of that political party relevant to the upcoming assembly elections was being housed by their political strategists, not of yesterday or day before, but for the past 6 years. It is a well-founded fear that we had, and that is why we came to court. Then 4, on the issue of the affidavit, the authorization letter for this member of the Trinamool Congress has been filed with our wakalat. Mr. Raju could have asked his instructing lawyers to just check this. The authorization letter has been filed, and that authorization was given by a National Working Committee member of the party. And this person who has signed the affidavit is a member of the party. There is nothing, no great conspiracy
no
here.
knowledge, no
We
information.
all want to have free and fair elections. We find it suspect that our political strategist office was targeted in this way a few months before the assembly elections. I want to be clear. That is the fear
Our
here.
case that money laundering
We
has
are not
been
here on the
shelter of money
scope
laundering
or
in the
the
guise of political
constitutionality.
election.
Don't interrupt me.
No, no,
We
I'm
are not
telling
here
you,
on the scope.
this
Or
has
please
nothing to
mute
do with-
yourself
nothing
then.
to do with- she's not
Please
addressing
mute
the
yourself.
maintainability. She's not
Please mute
addressing
yourself.
maintainability.
All right, this is
You're addressing
unbecoming conduct.
maintainability.
And the
Our
next
case is
time
that
you
the
want to,
state
as
gets
law
money
officer,
laundering. He did not
refer
want the
to a
money laundering
sitting
to
chief
surface upon the
minister
guise
by
of
her
elections
name,
of-
give her the dignity of calling her the chief minister of a state, a multi-term chief minister. There is a certain decorum to be maintained in a courtroom, Mr. Raju. I want to be clear here. This is what I'm
Merely
on.
because you say there's
The
no decorum doesn't
affidavit
mean that
has
there's
been
no decorum.
filed by a member of a political party, authorized. That letter of authorization has been filed with the wakalatnama. That is on the record.
case is-
All we are here, if Mr. Raju is going on the record and saying that nothing has been seized, then please record that statement. We then believe that maybe political data was seized from our political
My statement
strategists,
may be
which
recorded.
is
Nothing has been
indicative to
seized
the
from-
assembly elections. That is all I'm here. If that statement has been made, our petition may be disposed of in those terms, that nothing has been seized. I'm grateful for my lady's patient hearing.
Raju sir বলতে দাও। No, no.
Lord, may I just submit only one? I have been instructed to submit before your lordship.
You're appearing for?
Union of India, I am.
I will not
am
hear
submitting-
so
I am
many
not-
counsels for the
I am
Union of
not
India. I'm
submitting a
extremely
single
sorry.
word. I am not submitting a single word, only the instruction. Which
No,
has
no,
come.
your ladyship, I'm sorry.
I am not saying
He has
anything.
made a statement that on my
Sir,
statement,
Tiwari-
he withdraws the petition, nothing survives. Nothing survives on my statement.
Counterpart.
Whatever argument Mr. Tiwari has made, he is.
Senior advocate of the Supreme Court has made a statement that on my statement, the petition is
Cannot take
withdrawn, let
offense.
it be done.
Court of Mr. What
I'm
is?
sorry. I'm sorry, Malad. Why is he interrupting in the middle of the statement? Now, on my statement, your ladyship may hear me. On my statement that we have not seized anything
Instruction, I
from
am
these
submitting.
premises, the petition may be withdrawn as stated by the learned counsel for the petitioners. Let there be sanctity to what has been stated in the court. I have made my statement and I abide by my statement, and let them abide by their statement that they're withdrawing the petition.
The other
Please,
one-
we are not withdrawing anything,
No, you
Mr.
said
Raju.
that. I'm sorry.
Please record. No,
I'm
I did
sorry.
not say that. Do
Malad,
not put
you
words in
said
my
it.
mouth.
I'm so sorry.
My
Now,
lady,
on
please
hindsight,
record the
don't make a
statement
wrong
that
statement.
nothing
I'm
was
so
seized.
sorry.
And in those
My
terms,
ladyship
it
has
may be
heard us.
disposed of.
But
Mr.
the
Raju
ladyship heard
obviously
us. She
does
said,
not know
"I'm
the
withdrawing if
difference
that statement is
between
made,
disposed
accepted."
of and withdrawal. I am
I'm sorry,
surprised.
I'll put it on affidavit. Let the proceedings be, let
I
the recording of
request
the
all my
proceedings
friends to
show. He has
slightly
made a statement.
if I let Raju sir speak, because he's wanting to make a last submission which may be of relevance.
How long? How long Mr. Raju will?
Mr. Raju submit?
How long Mr.
My
Raju?
submission is
Last
this.
submission will be
I have
of
made a
much
statement. Your
importance if
ladyship
my
may
lord wants
kindly
to say
see.
Congress
I
has
have
not
made a
acted
statement
disposed
that
of on
we
my
have not seized anything from these two premises at the time of the search. On that statement, my colleague
This is really, my lord.
Anika has said that she's withdrawing the petition. She has
I
made
never
that-
said that,
she has
Mr.
made that
Raju.
statement.
I
That
never
statement
said
is
that. You
made,
are
and
having
therefore the
momentary
petitions do
amnesia.
not survive.
Yes,
Sorry.
you are having
Not-
momentary
petition.
amnesia.
No,
I
no,
never
don't go
said that.
back.
I
Don't go
said, my
back.
lady
I'm
may
very
record
sorry.
your
She has
statement.
made
It
that
may be
statement.
disposed of. It may
No.
be disposed
may
of in those
adjourn the
terms.
matter today.
Disposed
I
of.
am very
Doesn't matter.
surprised
It
you
is
don't know the
disposed of.
difference between disposed of and withdrawing.
Yes, it may be disposed of. I'm obliged. Let it be disposed of on my.
Very well, my lady
I'm
may please
obliged.
record that statement.
Yes,
Please record that statement that nothing was seized.
yes. My
And that
statement
the
will be
ASG
recorded
is
and
making
the
that
disposed of
statement.
may also be recorded. I have no objection.
Sir, please make your submission now.
Why
My
now?
submission is,
He's been submitting for
I'm
an hour and
on
a half.
instructions
No, no.
that
This-
nothing has been seized
Let me.
on these two premises, the residence of Pratik Jain and IPAC on the date of the search, that is 8th of January 26. Nothing, no record, no digital device has been seized. And on that statement, the statement of the petitioner's counsel is the petition may be disposed of in view of that statement. I'm obliged. Let the matter be
That is
disposed
what
of.
I
I'm
was
obliged.
trying to impress upon my lord, that here, Mr. Raju, just for the, because that can be of very much importance for this honorable court, my lord.
You cannot, are you differing with Mr. Raju?
My lord.
Are you differing with Mr.
No,
Raju?
yes, my lord, I am appearing in adherence.
Son of the-
Yes, my lord, yes, whatever
Upon
Mr. Raju is saying.
that nothing has been seized by the ED.
Well,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I'm making a statement. ED officers are with me. I'm making a statement. Mr. Trivedi, it's all right.
Please record that statement, my lady. We'd be grateful.
Nothing has
Please
been
record his
seized
statement.
on 8th of January from these two premises in the raid, and all whatever was taken into possession has been taken away by Mamata Banerjee.
This is in consonance.
So it says that nothing was seized from the premises.
By the ED.
We are not able to.
The ED only to assist your lordship.
And everything was taken away by Mamata Banerjee.
Yes, this is the search and seizure.
The punch number also says that nothing was seized.
Yes,
Record that. and
Yes,
dispose it of.
yes.
What is she talking, my lord? This is the reason why I said it will take 1 minute.
See, the clock has also stopped.
Time has stood still, my lady, in this courtroom today. We've had causeless read out multiple times.
No,
You add
yes.
some-
My
yes.
lord, I am appearing on, in
The
the
second matter,
matter.
which is
super-
being adjourned.
So yes, there is, I have submissions. Well, my submission is this, my lord. Firstly, my lord, I am appearing on behalf of Mamata
Mr.
Banerjee.
Banerjee, I will give you 2 minutes. Let me finish up the first matter.
No
finish up the
problem.
first matter,
I
and
don't
then
have,
we'll get back to
I
you.
don't
I'll
have
get
it.
back to you.
give your place.
My lord will kindly dictate it on the
ভাই,
mic. well.
Just
তোদের
now,
হাত জোর
yes.
করছি ভাই
Yes.
তোদের হাত সেন্ট্রাল গভর্নমেন্টকে হাত জোর
Outside the court, Hadjo, not in court.
Yes.
Heard learned counsels for the parties. The only prayer of the petitioner in the writ petition is for preservation of the political confidential data and protection of the same from being circulated or divulged to any entity at the behest of the second and third respondents. Paragraph. The other prayers in the writ petition are not pressed by the petitioners. Paragraph. Learned counsel for the respondents submits, comma, on instructions, comma, that nothing whatsoever was seized from the two premises in question by the authority.
On the search made on 8th of January 26.
Pursuant to the search,
Search is made.
2026.
And whatever was seized by Mamata Banerjee. That is my statement.
There's copies of the Panchnamas drawn up by the Enforcement Directorate.
My lord, we are
At
not
the
sure. It
two
was submitted
places
by
of-
Mr. Ganguly.
Pro forma respondent. I've recorded that. Pro forma respondent. Yes. কি বলে? Panchnamas drawn up at the places of alleged search and seizure, which demonstrate that nothing was seized from either the office of the pro forma respondent or the residence of, he's the, what is his designation?
Chain, is it probably director?
The
Director of.
residence of the director of the
IPAC.
company.
Of respondent 4, director of respondent 4. One of the directors of respondent 4.
In view of such submission made on behalf of the respondents, nothing further remains to be dealt with in the present application. Stop, the same is accordingly disposed of.
Grateful, my lord.
May I
I'm
only
so
submit
grateful,
one
my
thing?
lady.
Your Lordship?
Very
May I only
grateful.
submit one thing? My statement that whatever was there was seized by Mamata Banerjee may also be recorded. My statement that whatever was seized by
It's my
Mamata Banerjee.
petition, my lady.
Yes,
Why is he
that
trying
is
to
what
dictate
Mamata
the
Banerjee
order?
is
She's
there
not
in
the chief
record.
minister is not a party here.
Doesn't matter.
So
My statement may be recorded in full, your ladyship. Why part recording of my statement?
this is
My
not some
statement is we have
political
not seized
theatre.
whatever is seized by Mamata Banerjee. Therefore, Trinamool Congress will have to file a case against Mamata
Petition number
Banerjee.
2 is there. You argue all this there, Mr. Raju.
That is different. This is a different petition. You have said that it's a
Same
different
petition,
petition.
Mr.
Not there.
Raju,
You're not
two
a party in
sides.
You're not a party in
Please
that
argue this there.
address.
And no data backup was taken.
Grateful.
Grateful. Very grateful.
Yes, now,
Now,
My
my-
lady, very grateful. Thank you for your time.
Yes,
I'm
grateful, my lord.
adjourning the second
I'm
matter.
I'm obliged to your ladyship for a
Just,
I'm obliged to your ladyship for a patient hearing.
just 3 minutes,
For a
and I will request your lordship, if your lordship just consider that any of my submission is recorded, my lord, that's all.
I'm
Nothing more.
simply adjourning the matter, Mr. Bandopadhyay, so you can.
What,
come back on the
no,
days.
what, just a minute.
May I only submit this, your ladyship?
That's,
Your
that's, my
ladyship,
lord, kindly
I'm
see the
thankful for
hearing
a-
is in
I'm thankful for a patient hearing,
Hearing-
your ladyship.
progress. Matter is
Lady,
adjourned.
here I join Mr. Raju also. We are
Hearing
both
is
thankful for a
progress.
patient hearing.
The
Right.
Supreme Court is in session. of
No,
the
I am
matter.
coming. That is the reason I am coming. Exactly, I want to say this thing. But firstly, let me very much clear myself that I am appearing on behalf of the chairperson of the All India Trinamool Congress, Mamata Banerjee, not the Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. She is the chairperson of. They have wrongly.
In which matter my learned friend is appearing?
What
I'm
is
sorry,
that?
which matter are you
Please
appearing in?
don't interfere.
I want to know which matter
don't
you are appearing.
interfere.
I'm not interfering, I'm only asking.
এ কি গো, সব সময়তে
Patience.
I should know which matter. Is there a matter pending?
See, this petition was on 9th in the morning. It was leave was
Petitions are disposed of. Is he arguing a dispose of matter?
Presenting 3, 4, and 5. You're appearing.
State and the officers.
officers.
So that's 3, 4, and 5.
Yes, yes.
The
If 4
CBI
and 5, we have no notice.
আরে ভাই আমাকে একটু বলতে
Since he's asking for an adjournment, let me
Yes.
adjourn the matter for some time.
My lord, but yeah, lordships can adjourn, but I am submitting only that hearing of the petition 2 is also commenced. That's I am saying, submitting. Initially, I have said if item 2 hearing has been commenced. I am nothing I am saying. Then the map, because of the paucity of time, matter is adjourned. That's not. No, I am just suggesting.
Technicality,
my lord, I am just
that's fine.
My lord, I am just.
Have anything
My lord, I am just suggesting.
Item 2, Trinamool Congress is not a party. Is appearing for whom in number 2?
My lord, this is very important. Why I am saying. Why I am saying.
He has no locus. Is appearing for whom? You are appearing for whom, Mr. Bandopadhyay? You are appearing for
Has
whom?
been given by the ED to the court, to this court. Therefore, my lord, kindly see paragraph 12.
Atmosphere, here the matter.
কোন
in High Court, Therefore, we are before. the-
Page N.
This is.
Kindly see. Joseph কে দাও কোন কান থেকে
I made that statement.
Left hand side, page top. 17, 18, 19.
My lord, 17. Kindly see. May I read it? The Petitioner Enforcement Directorate had approached the Honorable High Court by filing a petition on Article 226 of the Constitution of India. However, before the matter could be taken up by the High Court, enormous disturbance was created inside the courtrooms, organized through a WhatsApp group by supporters and sympathizers of the ruling party of West Bengal.
Order, nothing else. They have recorded my, this is my
No,
order.
that's right. My lord, this is allegation.
There
That
is no locus. Trinamool Congress is not a party.
aforesaid fact is also evident from the order.
Why is he allowed to even argue?
What is this?
Yes, what is this? I should ask you. I should ask you. The court has said the matter is being adjourned. How can you argue even if you are not a party? How can you argue even if you are not a party? Have you filed an impleadment application? Have you filed an impleadment application?
The proceeding is being live.
Maybe, my lord, when the
And you are
Trinamool Congress is not a party in the second matter. He has no
what I
locus
am
to address the
submitting,
court.
when
taking
the
advantage.
matter will be going on in the Supreme Court, that is the honorable judges of the Supreme Court will not look into the video. They will go only.
How he can say what the Supreme Court judges will do? Who is he to say what the Supreme Court judges do or not? Recently, we
heard-
played some videos
I
before
am
the
also
Supreme Court.
My observation
In
that
two matter, Umar Khalid, we played videos, number of videos. In
you-
PFI matter, we played videos. How is he making statement what the Supreme Court judges will do or not?
Therefore,
How is it political
my lord, therefore,
such
if
thing?
the ground has been
I
taken,
strongly object to such
my lord,
petitions.
at least, my lord, this is my
What the Supreme Court will do, they will ask my
adjournment
learned
has been
friend and
sought
do.
for by them.
What nonsense.
Kindly record to that
No, it
extent.
will be
Adjournment
recorded.
has been sought for by them.
He is not a party. Trinamool Congress is not a party. He should not be heard. I do not know why he is being given this leniency.
on the ground that the Enforcement Directorate has filed SLP, Special Leave Petition, before the Honorable Supreme Court, and with prayers which are almost identical to that of the present application. Stop, the Honorable Supreme Court is in session of the matter. Paragraph, in view of the above, comma, the matter is adjourned. Liberty to mention after the matter before the Honorable Supreme Court is disposed of.
But the respondent.
Grateful, I'm
My lord,
obliged for a page, your ladyship.
want to proceed with the matter. Can you record that, my lord? My lord, we are willing
He's
to.
not a party. He's not a party. How can he proceed upon non-party can proceed? Appearing for
Has
whom?
no substance.
The respondents
Learned additional solicitor general
are ready
submission has
and
no
willing
substance at all.
to proceed with the matter before
Of
this.
course. You are the one who decides what has to be done, what substance I have, what the Supreme
Really
Court.
very grateful, my lady, for such a patient
I'm
hearing.
grateful for patient hearing. I'm sorry I had to argue a little loudly because of the video disturbance. I'm grateful. I'm obliged.
I'm so grateful, my lady. Happy New Year to everyone.
21 ki 26 second.
Is
Happy New Year. Happy Sankranti.
disposed of. Amir, correct.
Yes, happy Sankranti, Mr. Raju. Let's not forget our own festivals. Yes, happy Sankranti.
I think it's a bit unnecessary.
Yes, all right.
Our respected chairperson, Board of Governors, is now requested to kindly present the ceremonial shawl to the Honorable Minister. Our respected May I now request our Director, Professor Alok Kumar Rai, to hand over the citation to Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar.
Shri Krishna Kulkarni, Chairman, Board of Governors, IIM Calcutta. Professor Alok Kumar Rai, Director. Professor Bhaskar Chakrabarti, Dean Academic Programs. Professor Sumanta Basu, Dean D&ER. Faculty, dear students. It's an enormous privilege to be awarded the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, honoris causa, that too from such a prestigious institution like the Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta. As the first Institute of Management of independent India, IIM Calcutta really has a unique standing. Your Triple Crown accreditations are an attestation of your stature. As for your alumni, and that was a conversation we had yesterday evening, as for your alumni, I readily recall Indra Nui, a friend of many years, TV Narendran, who was my colleague in my brief business career, which was not mentioned in my curriculum vitae with the Tata Group, and Ambassador Ajay Bisaria, who was with me for many years in the Foreign Service. Of course, there are many more who have brought fame to their alma mater. And all of you, I know, will continue to uphold the standards of excellence. Now, my own life has been spent in the study of international relations and the pursuit of diplomacy. This was initially as a student, then for more than 4 decades as a diplomat, briefly, as I said, on the global side of business, and currently as the minister with the responsibility for the conduct of our foreign policy. In the course of this journey, my own understanding of this subject has evolved, and perhaps the sharpest realization is of the intricate connect between national capabilities and external aspirations. This is clearly not rocket science, but the complexity of that linkage and its relationship to policy options is something that is really brought home by experience. It is therefore natural that on an occasion like this, that too at an institution so deeply associated with our economic growth, that this should be the subject of my address. For many decades now, this connect that I have referred to has been conceptually articulated as comprehensive national power. A complex aggregation of multiple dimensions, it is a measure of a country's strength, of its quality of life, and of its ability to shape the world. Some aspects, like military or economic capacities, are more obvious. Others, like natural resources, niche technologies, or cultural impact, perhaps much less so. Occasionally, developing exceptional capabilities provide an added source of power. Now, conversely, allowing crucial vulnerabilities such as neglect of border infrastructure or indifference to industrialization can be a great weakness. Now, it is sometimes said that the best foreign policy is high economic growth. Well, there is much truth to it. Reality is actually much more complicated than that. It is not just about progressing on a broad front, but also paying attention to specifics which have a larger implication. Let me illustrate that. Contemporary debates today about chips, about rare earths, about connectivity illustrate this point. More than that, there is actually the question of fostering an underlying culture which determines a society's attitude, its habits, and its temperament. For all the talk about services, it is only by manufacturing that we can actually really appreciate technology, spread an industrial culture, and encourage innovation. And that is precisely why, in an extremely competitive world, the state of entrepreneurship at home is intrinsically linked to the pursuit of interests abroad. It is central to how we relate to the world and equally a beneficiary of what we draw from it. In that sense, my world and yours are really not that far apart. Let us turn to the global landscape and begin by recognizing the profound changes underway. This is an era where politics increasingly trumps economics, and that's not a pun. Decisions are now being made not merely on costs, but taking into account ownership and security. Where a product is made or who offers a service is as important as their price points. When de-risking overrides the logic of efficiency, the mantra of just in time actually gives place to the caution of just in case. Of course, globalization still exists because it's too far gone to be rolled back. But with powerful counter forces today brought into play, far from being an aberration, these trends have only just started and will probably pick up pace in times to come. Now let's turn our attention to some key elements of this transformation, which actually make for a less rule-bound and a more fragmented world. The United States, long the underwriter of the contemporary system, has set radically new terms of engagement. Not just that, it is doing so by dealing with countries on a one-on-one basis rather than through regimes. China has long played by its own rules and is now doing so even more. In the ensuing scenario, other nations are unclear on whether their attention should be on the visible competition or the trade-offs and understandings that punctuate them. Faced with such pulls and pressures of globalization, of fragmentation, and of supply insecurity, the rest of the world responds by hedging against all contingencies. Even as it engages the United States and China directly, choices are avoided where feasible, and choices are made when beneficial. Simultaneously, other options between themselves are explored with greater urgency. One sign of that is the uptick in the enthusiasm today for free trade agreements across geographies. Now, while all of this is happening, the global picture is by no means static. Europe and Asia are reassessing their respective strategic predicaments. The very landscape in the Middle East has undergone a transformation. The importance of partnering Africa's growth is more widely recognized. And as distances become less relevant, new opportunities are visualized in Latin America. Now, please also bear in mind that the relative weight of nations in different domains is also undergoing a major change. Whether it is manufacturing, energy, trade, finance, technology, natural resources, connectivity, or mobility, the world is not what it was, say, just a decade ago. A third of global production currently takes place in China. This has put the spotlight on the resilience and reliability of supply chains. Conflicts and climate events have added to the possibility of their disruption. When it comes to energy, the US has gone from being a major importer to a significant exporter of fossil fuels. At the same time, China dominates the world of renewables. Where trade is concerned, supply-side risks are aggravated by demand-side uncertainty. The salience of tariff rates to trade prospects has obviously heightened volatility. And as for finance, the prolific application of sanctions, the seizure of assets, and the advent of blockchain-based technologies are today part of the new realities. And what can we say about technology when the mother of all changes, artificial intelligence moving towards artificial general intelligence, is at our very doorstep? Understandably, it has a direct impact on the competition for natural resources, especially rare earths and critical minerals. Now, even as these developments unfold, we are revisiting history by reinventing connectivity. The hardwiring, designed by the vested interests of imperialism, needed to change as new centers of production and consumption came up. While some of it was organic and some of it was market-driven, others appear to also have a strategic intent. Indeed, the very concept of dual-purpose connectivity challenges the orthodox assumptions and definitions that many of us hold. Another dimension worth recognizing is the importance of the mobility of talent. The flow may be driven by demands of technology, but they are actually made possible by a globalized economy. Over a period, it was not just the talent that is moving, so too is the tasking. And we see that in the rise now of global capability centers. Demographic is also at work, not only technology and economics. In many societies, the maintenance of basic social services requires skills from abroad, as do their economic production. The cumulative result is the need today to prepare for a global workforce. So this is the global landscape, and you may ask, how does India respond to these new realities? Well, obviously, by pursuing policies and taking actions that, one, advance our comprehensive national power, two, reduce our vulnerabilities, and three, promote our influence. Now, the last two clearly constitute the core of our diplomatic activities, but even when it comes to increasing comprehensive national power, our role in diplomacy is active rather than passive. This is done, amongst others, by facilitating the flow of technology and the ease of manufacturing, by shaping external sentiment about investing in India, by opening markets for our producers and work opportunities for our skills, and by ensuring the steady and predictable supply of our requirements from the world. As India rises and our economy grows, we are preparing, obviously, to shoulder more responsibilities in this regard. A major power, that too one with higher aspirations like us, must have a significant industrial base. Unfortunately, this was not an assumption necessarily accepted by policymakers before 2014. Promoting industrial growth and even incentivizing it is today a key economic priority. The emphasis on Make in India in the last decade speaks of a different mindset and greater ambition. For its full potential to be realized, industry has to wholeheartedly partner and look beyond the short term. It must help build the domestic supply chain even as we seek to participate more in the global one. As it strikes roots, Make in India is strengthened by research in India, innovate in India, and design in India. Not all missed opportunities of the lost decades of the last century can be recovered. But there is considerable scope, believe me, to play catch up, especially in selected domains. At the same time, attention is being paid to advanced technologies, to advanced manufacturing, so that India does not perpetually lag behind. We are now in the world of chips and semiconductors, electric vehicles and batteries, drones and space, or that of nanotech and bioscience. Each of them offers opportunity to leapfrog and establish unique capabilities, which is why they feature today so strongly in the government's policy support. Where foreign affairs is concerned, technology and trade are among the metrics of our 3 T's performance evaluation, along with tourism. It is a measure of seriousness that our diplomats are so focused on constantly exploring opportunities and solving problems in these domains. For all of this to happen, it has also been imperative to rectify the shortcomings in our infrastructure. In fact, that was the crucial differentiator in many ways with respect to the more successful Asian economies. But in the last few years, that gap is narrowing. In fact, it is narrowing before our very eyes. Whether it is highways or railways, aviations or ports, energy or power, we are now moving ahead by any standards. And I can tell you by personal experience that the world is indeed taking note. Getting across the India story to investors is a responsibility that we also take very seriously in the diplomatic routine. That involvement can at times also extend to hand-holding in respect of important projects. While the physical environment may be improving, it is also equally important that the enabling one for entrepreneurship does so. Making it easier to do business has been a consistent refrain over this last decade. This ranges from abolishing outdated rules and simplifying compliance procedures to limiting discretionary powers and encouraging deregulation. Side by side, a determined effort is underway to improve the ease of living for the average citizen. That is reflected in more efficient administration and better governance. But the game changer here has really been our digital public infrastructure. It has not only facilitated optimal use of resources and drastically reduced leakage, but also expanded the reach of social welfare measures. The role of digitally enabled governance in the transformation of India cannot be overstated. Whether it is nutrition support for 2/3 of our population, health facilities for more than half, social housing on a mass scale, benefit schemes for farmers, or unprecedented financial inclusion, none of this could have happened without the digital backbone. Significantly, our achievements in this sector are gaining increasing recognition abroad. We have started actually partnering with the Global South on similar initiatives. A crucial consequence of these developments has been the human resources sector, which is at last getting the attention that it has long deserved. It starts at the bottom of the pyramid, where there is far more effective delivery of basic needs, including nutrition, health, housing, and connectivity. As literacy and education rates in our society improve, there are direct implications for the quality of our workforce. Educational institutions have actually doubled in the last decade, but there is obviously much more work to be done. Skills enhancement has also become a focus in itself, both as policy and on the ground. Whether it is skills or educations, there is much to be gained by international collaboration, as in fact the history of this very institution can testify. We have consequently been active in assisting foreign universities and skills institutions to establish their collaborative or other presence in India, the initial results are already visible. As international demand for talent and skills increase across professions, we are obviously today in a much better position to meet it. In fact, addressing the needs of the global workplace is a major diplomatic goal for us. It is reflected in the mobility agreements that we have reached with many countries. Moreover, as more Indians go out in the world, we must arm them with greater confidence, ensuring the welfare through evacuation in conflict situations, or indeed the manner in which we looked after them during the COVID pandemic. These send a very strong message to our citizens who go out in the world. Now, just as power has a comprehensive definition, so too does the concept of security. Nations, again I stress, especially the large ones, need to be reassured when it comes to energy security, food security, health security, or for that matter, even fertilizer security. That means ensuring the smooth working of supply chains and negotiating long-term arrangements and understandings. The COVID pandemic tested us in that regard when it came to vaccines, just as the Ukraine conflict impacted our energy access. By securing vaccine ingredients and accessing additional energy and fertilizer sources, we actually demonstrated that a responsive foreign policy can indeed deliver for every citizen. In an uncertain world, it is all the more important that we continuously diversify supply sources to ensure, to actually guarantee our national needs. With these considerations in mind, we are today endeavoring to forge new trade arrangements and promote fresh connectivity initiatives. While they certainly represent key facets of our policy priorities, it also speaks for the importance that the world attaches to ties with India. As we ascend the global economic hierarchy, the case for them will only get stronger. These exercises have long-term repercussions and therefore need to be embarked upon with great judiciousness. When it comes to trade, we will naturally be guided by our people-centric vision, just as our connectivity plans will be by strategic as well as economic considerations. Among the methods of promoting India abroad is through extending lines of credit and offering grant assistance. And you could ask me, why is that so important? So I would like to share with you, because this is a core activity of my ministry, that many projects that have resulted from these efforts, in our neighborhood especially, have been crucial for connectivity with our partners. There are other instances where such support has helped to introduce Indian companies and their products to new markets. And not least, as our own capabilities have forged ahead in domains like power grids, water infrastructure, highway building, or railways, we have actually been able to offer cost-effective solutions abroad. Showcasing this new India is very much at the center of the diplomatic mandate. The link between national development and foreign policy will only get deeper as the world globalizes and as we all embrace technology. To a considerable extent, our prospects must take into account access abroad, whether to markets, to resources, to technologies, or even to work opportunities. At the same time, some of our solutions emerge through collaborations with global partners. They hold the potential of leapfrogging our growth in many domains. In a competitive environment, our well-being and progress are best assured by creating a benevolent external environment that involves understandings and calculations as they do give and take, which are what diplomacy is all about. At one level, we have to optimize our positioning vis-à-vis key global players and regions. Agenda-based smaller groups are also being created. At another, stronger linkages need to be nurtured with our immediate and with our extended neighborhood. And as we plan for Viksit Bharat in 2047, the goal of foreign policy is to steadily expand our footprint beyond its current confines. The solidarity that we have built up with the global south creates a basis for doing so. As India develops, the world will definitely seek to engage us more intensively. While the key to our future lies in growth and modernization, a civilizational state must also draw on its history and culture. Technology and tradition must march together. Indeed, one reinforces the other. It is therefore essential that we think through the challenges ahead for ourselves rather than seek to emulate the models of others. We will be most competitive, friends. We will be most competitive when we find solutions that resonate with who we are. At the end of the day, Atmanirbhar Bharat is a mindset that a confident society will apply to every domain. And as we do so increasingly at home, I can assure you today that it will empower our diplomacy abroad. So with those words, once again, let me thank IIM Calcutta for this enormous honor. Let me thank you all for joining me today. And I can only say that for me, it's a matter of enormous pride to be part of your alumni. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Ladies and gentlemen, we request your gracious attention as we begin today's event. On behalf of IIM Calcutta, I extend a warm and respectful welcome to everyone to this august ceremony, the conferment of the honorary doctorate degree upon Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar, Honorable Minister of External Affairs, Government of India. To commence this solemn occasion, may I request our esteemed dignitaries to kindly come forward for the traditional lamplighting ceremony on stage. Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar, distinguished guest of the day. Shri Krishna Kulkarni, Chairperson, Board of Governors, IIM Calcutta. Professor Alok Kumar Rai, Director, IIM Calcutta. Professor Sumant Basu, Dean, Development and External Relations, and Professor Bhaskar Chakravarti, Dean, Academic Programs, to come up on the dais for the lamplighting ceremony. Thank you, dignitaries. You are kindly requested to take your respective seats on the dais. May I now request Dean, Development and External Relations, IIM Calcutta, Professor Sumanta Basu, to kindly brief us about the day's program.
Respected Dr. S. Jaishankar, Minister of External Affairs, Sri Krishna Kulkarni, Chairperson, Board of Governors, Professor Alok Kumar Rai, Director of IIM Calcutta, distinguished member of the boards, deans, faculty members, staff, alumni, students, and our honored guests, those present with us here in the auditorium, and those joining us virtually. It is my honor and privilege to brief you about the honorary doctorate ceremony. IIM Calcutta, the first management institute established by the Government of India, has for more than 6 decades served as a pioneer in management education. In an ever-evolving global business landscape, the institute has continued to adapt, innovate, and lead with purpose. Our mission to nurture principled, forward-looking, and globally responsible leaders, and our vision to shape management through thought and practice remain the cornerstones of our identity and our contribution to the nation. The honorary doctorate presents one of the highest distinctions conferred by IIM Calcutta. This program is a reflection of our belief that leadership and excellence must not only be cultivated within classroom, but also celebrated in individuals whose work strengthens society and inspire future generations. The honor acknowledges exceptional accomplishments that align with the Institute's ethos, accomplishments rooted in intellectual depth, ethical convention, and meaningful impact. This year's honorary doctorate underscores these very ideals. Through this recognition, IIM Calcutta reaffirms its commitment to honoring those whose contributions reflect thoughtful engagement with complex global realities, informed decision-making, and a dedication to advancing the nation's standing in an interconnected world. The program serves as a bridge between academia and public life, reinforcing our long-standing legacy of promoting knowledge, fostering societal development, and contributing to national and international progress. By conferring this honor, the Institute not only acknowledges excellence, but also strengthens its mission to inspire its students to pursue leadership with wisdom, responsibility, and purpose. The honorary doctorate program stands as a testament to IIM Calcutta's commitment to celebrating individuals whose journeys encourage us to push boundaries, embrace challenges, and lead with conviction. As we mark this significant occasion, we renew our resolve to uphold the values that have guided this institution for more than 60 years: excellence, ethics, innovation, and societal impact. Through this recognition, we continue to build a legacy that inspires generations to come. Thank you, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, Professor Basu, for the informative overview of today's program. May I now request our respected director, IIM Calcutta, Professor Alok Kumar Rai, to kindly deliver the welcome address.
Thank you, Pradeepta. A very good afternoon to all of you. The very distinguished guest of today's function, Shri Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar, Honorable Minister of External Affairs, Government of India, Mr. S.K. Kulkarni, Chairperson, Board of Governors, IIM Calcutta, members of BOG, distinguished alumni, deans and chairpersons of IIM Calcutta, my fellow colleagues, officials from the Institute and Ministry, staff of the Institute, my very dear students of the Institute, members of press and media, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I have the distinct honor to welcome each one of you who have gathered today on the occasion of conferment of honorary doctorate to Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar, Honorable Minister of External Affairs, Government of India, for the services he has rendered towards Bharat Mata. It is through him today that Calcutta shall travel further on its journey of nation building in its own righteous way. Thus, the day holds deep significance in its journey of learning, growth, and transformation. I would like to quote what Mahatma Gandhi once said: "Your beliefs became your thoughts. Your thoughts become your words. Your words become your deeds. Your deeds become your habits. Your habits become your essence, and your essence becomes your destiny." Shri Guru Vashisht told Ram, "Jnanavanena sukhvan, jnanavaneva jivati, jnanavaneva balvan, tasmat jnanamayo bhava." Knowledgeable person is happy. He only lives his life. He is the one who is mighty. Hence, be knowledgeable. So it is extremely important for all the students to be aware of this and try to seek inspiration from today's very distinguished guests we have amongst us. Our guest is a living institution in his own respective field and offers a combination of knowledge, skill, and motive through his personality and also through his works. In Rig Veda, it is said, "Ano bhadra kratvo yantu vishvato dabdhaso uparitas udbhidav." Let noble thoughts come to us from all directions. This vision continues to drive us forward, inspiring generations of learners and leaders and towards pursuing excellence. The 10th chapter of Rig Veda states that the purpose of education, in addition to knowledge of the Vedas and rituals, is to gain respect in society, be able to speak in public meetings, and understand what is right and what is wrong. During the Upanishad period, the purpose of education became more nuanced. Knowledge was divided into two parts, Paravidya and Aparavidya. Aparavidya encompassed almost all theoretical and practical knowledge, while Brahmavidya was considered Paravidya and Paravidya was considered superior. Swami Vivekananda ji said, "The primary purpose of education is to achieve inherent perfection. The greatness of a country is not determined solely by its parliamentary work, but by the greatness of its citizens. But to make its citizens great, their moral and spiritual development is essential." Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore said, "Education is not something that merely imparts transformation, but rather something that brings us all into harmony with the environment." To this end, the role of education, teachers, and educational institutions become particularly important. When we see the person chosen for conferment of this honor today, we find him to be a true manifestation of all the above learnings that I just talked of. IIM Calcutta, as was shared by Professor Basu, is the first national level institution in the field of management education in the country, the first Triple Crown, few I'll add, the first Triple Crown accredited institute, and the only Indian member of SEMS, which is a global alliance of 33 leading business schools that together offers SEMS Masters in International Management. That is, and our institute is the only institute in the country to have got re-accreditation of all three. I mean, 2 we have already received and 3rd is in the last leg. And based on the output that we have, we are in receipt of the input that says our performance this time has been like it has never been before. We also have recently been ranked 50th and 64th globally and 3rd in India in QS MIM and MBA 2026 ranking respectively, ranked 41st. Yeah, you can clap. Ranked 41st globally and 3rd in India in Financial Times MIM 2025 ranking. But at the same time, I also share with honesty that in our NIRF ranking, it has been a challenge, but I assure you that we are working hard and shall soon get the desired result there as well. A distinct departure from deviations incongruent to our roots was developed and implemented on 29th of July 2020 in the form of National Education Policy 2020. Access, equity, quality, affordability, and accountability were the fundamental principles identified for National Education Policy 2020 implementation. Interestingly, these are all the quintessential concepts of Indian knowledge system. Subramaniam Bharati, the very famous Tamil poet, insisted upon access to education for all. Raja Ram Mohan Roy and Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar worked towards proliferation of education among the masses. The world has moved beyond Industry 4.0, Society 4.0, and Education 4.0 in a very short span. Phases of industrialization that started from hunting to agriculture to machines to ICT, information and communication technology, came back to human centricity, resilience, and sustainability. And this is known as Industry 5.0. It added a personal human touch to Industry 4.0 pillars of automation and efficiency. Similarly, Society 5.0 called for a human-centered society that balances economic advancements with the resolution of social problems by a system that highly integrates cyberspace and physical space, a knowledge-intensive society and a data-driven society. To address this shift in society, Education 5.0 has been developed that focuses on developing 21st century skills such as critical thinking, creativity, and problem solving, rather than just routine learning. In order to achieve the national, societal, and institutional goals, IIM Calcutta has proposed 5 I's model that talks of integration, inclusion, innovation, industrialization, and most importantly, Indianization. For IIM Calcutta, this is how we are working forward, especially in our pursuits of implementing National Education Policy 2020. And the model we are adopting here is co-creation through collaboration for value augmentation. And this is our new mantra at IIM Calcutta. We at IIM Calcutta are working on being knowledge gateway, especially to serve Eastern India. I have personally reached out to all the relevant authorities from Bihar to Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim to Chhattisgarh for the purpose, serving the rest of the country in providing talented human resource for the corporate, country, and society at large is high on our agenda at IIM Calcutta. Our success is being reflected in this year's placements too. Procedural simplification, decision-making decentralization, process automation, and system rejuvenation are the key principles that are guiding our decisions at the Institute. When our founders conceived IIM Calcutta, they must have dreamt of creating more than just a business school that blends management education with human values, innovation, and integrity. Today, as we look back on our journey, we can say with humility and pride that we have remained true to that vision. Having said this, it is equally important to recognize the fact that we cannot and we should not be complacent of our historical achievements, but continue to work hard to raise the flag higher. At the end, I again take the opportunity to welcome each and every individual present here. with the line from Upanishad that is written in Krishna Yajurved Shaka that says, Om Sahanavautu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Mavidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Almighty, may both the teacher and the taught be protected by you. May we both be nourished together. May we both work with greater zeal. May our studies be effective, and may we not argue unnecessarily. May there be peace within me. May there be peace around me, and may there be peace upon me. Thank you once again to each and every individual to be present on this very, very pious and momentous occasion. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir, for your warm and inspiring welcome address. May I now have the privilege of requesting our respected chairperson, Board of Governors, IIM Calcutta, Shri Krishna Kulkarni, to say a few words in honor of the Honorable Minister of External Affairs, Government of India, Dr. S. Jaishankar.
Honorable Dr. S. Jaishankar, Madam Kyoko, Director Professor Alok Kumar Rai, Dean Academic Professor Bhaskar Chakrabarti, Dean External Relations Sumanta Basu, IIM Calcutta family, friends of IIM Calcutta, members of the press, and all those joining online. Namaskar to all of you. Let me start by quoting from an interview done in Bratislava in May of 2023. It goes somewhat like this. You know, somewhere Europe has to grow out of the mindset that Europe's problems guys, you got to hold it for the man, not, I'm just quoting. So, Europe's problems are the world's problems, but the world's problems are not Europe's problems. If it is you, India, it is yours. If it is me, European countries, it is ours. You know, I had written a line, does anyone recall these words, but it's redundant. All of you know it. Thank you so much for remembering these extremely important lines which made all of us proud. And I'm extremely proud of each one of you that you remembered it. Thank you so much. On a personal level, Dr. Jaishankar and I have known each other since 1996. He was then the Deputy Chief of Mission in the Indian Embassy at Tokyo. I was then a young 33-year-old who was the country head and managing director of the Indian joint venture of FANUC Limited. His father, Sri Krishnaswamy Subramaniam, who was an IAS officer, was the second director of the Institute for Defense Studies and Analysis. My father, Professor Gajanan Kulkarni, who was also an IAS officer, and after 20 years of serving in the IAS, he was among the first founding faculty members at IIM Ahmedabad. Our fathers were friends. But today it's my privilege to introduce you, Honorable External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar. For close to 300 years, the Anglo-Saxon nations have been dominant voices in global geopolitics. They drafted the rules, they called the shots, and by and large expected the rest of the world to follow their script. Since 2014, another nation has been undergoing a transformation, quietly, patiently, yet strategically profound. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's India has not been asleep. It has been waiting, and it has been learning. India learned to stop playing the game. We stopped pursuing external validation, the desperate chase for approvals from the international institutions. We stopped being a junior partner. India decided to write its own rules and let the results speak for themselves. This unleashed the confidence of 1.4 billion people. Now there is no going back. From 2019, we also see a rise of our nation's diplomacy, one that refuses to bend. Sometimes all it takes to shift the global mindset is one voice, firm in conviction, clear in values, and unshakable in truth. That is Dr. S. Jaishankar. He's a man of few words, but immense weight. He ensures that India is heard. He has recalibrated our diplomacy. His India never rejects partnerships, it rejects pressure. He challenges the age-old assumption that India can be managed, it can be bullied, it can be softened. It is his quiet resistance that speaks loudest. He is the symbol of a new India that does not fear losing favor, an India that values dignity over deals. This matters more than anyone realizes. He is a leader who's not loud. He does not fight but still wins. He does not raise his voice but raises India's standing. He represents us, you and me, not by flattering others, but rather by standing for us. You know, all of you, mindsets do matter, not just for politicians and diplomats, but for each one of us. Sooner or later, in your lives too, you will walk into rooms where people will expect you to say yes or to stay silent. And in those moments, your power will not be in how loudly you speak, but it will be in how deeply you stand. And this is what Dr. S. Jaishankar teaches us. And through him, this is what India is teaching every other rising nation. People like him become a beacon for every young professional, every underestimated individual. You do not have to fight to be strong. You just have to know who you are. So the next time you feel pressure to compromise just because you wish to be accepted, remember this. One man, one voice, one stand changed everything, because that's how mindsets shift. Meet the man who stands his ground, Dr. S. Jaishankar, India's Honorable External Affairs Minister. Sharp, strategic, relentless. He is not just a diplomat. When other nations seek concessions, Dr. Jaishankar holds the line and seeks fairness and respect. For him, strategic autonomy is not a buzzword. It is a line in the sand. This is what I call unapologetic diplomacy. Dr. Jaishankar's clarity demonstrates that real power is in dialogue. It flows from within, from a unity of purpose, a depth of culture, and an unwavering belief in our nation's destiny. Because of his strategic wisdom, India can no longer be manipulated and underestimated. And that patience can outlast pressure. And that faith in one's own civilization can build what force cannot. Through him, India speaks its truth, calmly and firmly on every global stage. He is building our strategic sovereignty. This is the mark of a nation that acts on its own will. His style is a lesson in how to achieve deep strategic reorientation and geopolitical correction, not through warfare or hostile politics, but through sheer willpower, He proves to us that it is always about people. People matter. That's his style. He is, I believe, the perfect man to represent our billion heartbeats on the global stage. Dear students, he is very much like all of you that I see sitting here, erudite and the best of this country. We admire you, and we also admire him tremendously. And from today, after the ceremony, he will be a proud alum of IIM Calcutta, the best IIM the best IIM in India. You know, let me share a small personal anecdote over dinner yesterday. He asked me, Krishna, who are your most famous alums? And I actually bit my lip and kept shut. He's one of them. Okay, so it is his voice that is making the world take notice. He brought the world to our doorsteps. Thank you, dear Jayashankar, for coming to Joka and being a part of the family of IIM Calcutta. Ladies and gentlemen, will you do me a favor? Dr. S. Jayashankar, let's give him a standing ovation. Thank you. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for this gracious introduction of our guest of honor today. I now request Professor Abhishek Goel, faculty member, IIM Calcutta, to kindly present the formal citation.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's my honor to read the citation for the conferment of an honorary doctorate on Dr. Subramaniam Jayashankar. It is with immense pride and profound respect that we recognize and honor to the extraordinary life and contributions of Dr. Subramaniam Jayashankar by conferring upon him an honorary doctorate from the Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta. A statesman, scholar, and one of India's most distinguished diplomats, Dr. Jayashankar has dedicated his life to the service of the nation, shaping Indian foreign policy with vision, clarity, and conviction in a rapidly changing world. Born on January 9, 1955 in New Delhi, into a family of deeply committed to public service, Dr. Jayashankar was influenced early by the example of his father, the eminent strategic affairs expert, Sri K. Subramaniam. His academic journey took him from St. Stephen's College, University of Delhi, to Jawaharlal Nehru University, where he earned his MA, MPhil, and PhD in international relations, specializing in nuclear diplomacy. This intellectual foundation prepared him for a career that would span decades of service at the highest levels of Indian diplomacy. Joining the Indian Foreign Service in 1977, Dr. Jayashankar went on to serve in some of the most important capitals of the world, including Moscow, Washington, D.C., Colombo, Budapest, and Tokyo. He held several distinguished ambassadorial positions to the Czech Republic from 2001 to 4, Singapore 2007 to 9, China 2009 to 13, and the United States 2013 to 15. In each role, he demonstrated exceptional skills in advancing India's national interests, strengthening relationships, and representing the country with dignity and foresight. His pivotal role in the negotiations leading to the India-United States Civil Nuclear Agreement remains one of the defining achievements of his diplomatic career. In 2015, Dr. Jayashankar was appointed Foreign Secretary of India, guiding the country's diplomacy during a period of major geopolitical transformation. In May 2019, he was sworn in as the Minister of External Affairs, becoming the first former Foreign Secretary to hold this office, and today stands as India's second longest serving Foreign Minister after Sri Jawaharlal Nehru. Under his stewardship, India has strengthened its global partnerships, articulated its worldview with strategic clarity, and asserted its rightful place as a leading voice in global governance. For his outstanding service, he was awarded the Padma Shri in 2019. A thinker as much as a practitioner, Dr. Jaishankar has contributed significantly to the intellectual discourse on India's role in the world. His books, The India Way, Strategies for an Uncertain World, and Why Bharat Matters, reflect his deep insights into diplomacy, statecraft, and the responsibilities of a rising India. His writings combine a scholar's depth with a practitioner's pragmatism, offering wisdom that resonates far beyond the field of international relations. In recognition of his exceptional contributions to diplomacy, public service, and scholarship, and for embodying values of leadership, intellectual excellence, and national service that resonate with IIM Calcutta's mission, we are privileged to confer upon Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar the degree of Doctor of Philosophy honoris causa. His life and work are an enduring inspiration, and we are honored to celebrate his remarkable achievements.
Thank you, Professor Goel. May I now have the honor of inviting Honorable Minister of External Affairs, Government of India, Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar. Honorable Chairperson, Board of Governors, IIM Calcutta, Sri Krishna Kulkarni, and Honorable Director, IIM Calcutta, Professor Alok Kumar Rai, to kindly step forward for the conferment of the honorary doctorate degree. Our respected Chairperson, Board of Governors, is now requested to kindly present the ceremonial shawl to the Honorable Minister. Our respected May I now request our Director, Professor Alok Kumar Rai, to hand over the citation to Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar. May I now take the privilege to invite our honorable guest of honor, Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar, to kindly deliver his acceptance address.
Sri Krishna Kulkarni, Chairman, Board of Governors, IIM Calcutta. Professor Alok Kumar Rai, Director. Professor Bhaskar Chakrabarti, Dean Academic Programs. Professor Sumanta Basu, Dean D&ER. Faculty, dear students. It's an enormous privilege to be awarded the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, honoris causa, that too from such a prestigious institution like the Indian Institute of Management, Calcutta. As the first Institute of Management of independent India, IIM Calcutta really has a unique standing. Your Triple Crown accreditations are an attestation of your stature. As for your alumni, and that was a conversation we had yesterday evening, as for your alumni, I readily recall Indra Nui, a friend of many years, TV Narendran, who was my colleague in my brief business career, which was not mentioned in my curriculum vitae with the Tata Group, and Ambassador Ajay Bisaria, who was with me for many years in the Foreign Service. Of course, there are many more who have brought fame to their alma mater. And all of you, I know, will continue to uphold the standards of excellence. Now, my own life has been spent in the study of international relations and the pursuit of diplomacy. This was initially as a student, then for more than 4 decades as a diplomat, briefly, as I said, on the global side of business, and currently as the minister with the responsibility for the conduct of our foreign policy. In the course of this journey, my own understanding of this subject has evolved, and perhaps the sharpest realization is of the intricate connect between national capabilities and external aspirations. This is clearly not rocket science, but the complexity of that linkage and its relationship to policy options is something that is really brought home by experience. It is therefore natural that on an occasion like this, that too at an institution so deeply associated with our economic growth, that this should be the subject of my address. For many decades now, this connect that I have referred to has been conceptually articulated as comprehensive national power. A complex aggregation of multiple dimensions, it is a measure of a country's strength, of its quality of life, and of its ability to shape the world. Some aspects, like military or economic capacities, are more obvious. Others, like natural resources, niche technologies, or cultural impact, perhaps much less so. Occasionally, developing exceptional capabilities provide an added source of power. Now, conversely, allowing crucial vulnerabilities such as neglect of border infrastructure or indifference to industrialization can be a great weakness. Now, it is sometimes said that the best foreign policy is high economic growth. Well, there is much truth to it. Reality is actually much more complicated than that. It is not just about progressing on a broad front, but also paying attention to specifics which have a larger implication. Let me illustrate that. Contemporary debates today about chips, about rare earths, about connectivity illustrate this point. More than that, there is actually the question of fostering an underlying culture which determines a society's attitude, its habits, and its temperament. For all the talk about services, it is only by manufacturing that we can actually really appreciate technology, spread an industrial culture, and encourage innovation. And that is precisely why, in an extremely competitive world, the state of entrepreneurship at home is intrinsically linked to the pursuit of interests abroad. It is central to how we relate to the world and equally a beneficiary of what we draw from it. In that sense, my world and yours are really not that far apart. Let us turn to the global landscape and begin by recognizing the profound changes underway. This is an era where politics increasingly trumps economics, and that's not a pun. Decisions are now being made not merely on costs, but taking into account ownership and security. Where a product is made or who offers a service is as important as their price points. When de-risking overrides the logic of efficiency, the mantra of just in time actually gives place to the caution of just in case. Of course, globalization still exists because it's too far gone to be rolled back. But with powerful counter forces today brought into play, far from being an aberration, these trends have only just started and will probably pick up pace in times to come. Now let's turn our attention to some key elements of this transformation, which actually make for a less rule-bound and a more fragmented world. The United States, long the underwriter of the contemporary system, has set radically new terms of engagement. Not just that, it is doing so by dealing with countries on a one-on-one basis rather than through regimes. China has long played by its own rules and is now doing so even more. In the ensuing scenario, other nations are unclear on whether their attention should be on the visible competition or the trade-offs and understandings that punctuate them. Faced with such pulls and pressures of globalization, of fragmentation, and of supply insecurity, the rest of the world responds by hedging against all contingencies. Even as it engages the United States and China directly, choices are avoided where feasible, and choices are made when beneficial. Simultaneously, other options between themselves are explored with greater urgency. One sign of that is the uptick in the enthusiasm today for free trade agreements across geographies. Now, while all of this is happening, the global picture is by no means static. Europe and Asia are reassessing their respective strategic predicaments. The very landscape in the Middle East has undergone a transformation. The importance of partnering Africa's growth is more widely recognized. And as distances become less relevant, new opportunities are visualized in Latin America. Now, please also bear in mind that the relative weight of nations in different domains is also undergoing a major change. Whether it is manufacturing, energy, trade, finance, technology, natural resources, connectivity, or mobility, the world is not what it was, say, just a decade ago. A third of global production currently takes place in China. This has put the spotlight on the resilience and reliability of supply chains. Conflicts and climate events have added to the possibility of their disruption. When it comes to energy, the US has gone from being a major importer to a significant exporter of fossil fuels. At the same time, China dominates the world of renewables. Where trade is concerned, supply-side risks are aggravated by demand-side uncertainty. The salience of tariff rates to trade prospects has obviously heightened volatility. And as for finance, the prolific application of sanctions, the seizure of assets, and the advent of blockchain-based technologies are today part of the new realities. And what can we say about technology when the mother of all changes, artificial intelligence moving towards artificial general intelligence, is at our very doorstep? Understandably, it has a direct impact on the competition for natural resources, especially rare earths and critical minerals. Now, even as these developments unfold, we are revisiting history by reinventing connectivity. The hardwiring, designed by the vested interests of imperialism needed to change as new centers of production and consumption came up. While some of it was organic and some of it was market-driven, others appear to also have a strategic intent. Indeed, the very concept of dual-purpose connectivity challenges the orthodox assumptions and definitions that many of us hold. Another dimension worth recognizing is the importance of the mobility of talent. The flow may be driven by demands of technology, but they are actually made possible by a globalized economy. Over a period, it was not just the talent that is moving, so too is the tasking. And we see that in the rise now of global capability centers. Demographic is also at work, not only technology and economics. In many societies, the maintenance of basic social services requires skills from abroad, as do their economic production. The cumulative result is the need today to prepare for a global workforce. So this is the global landscape, and you may ask, how does India respond to these new realities? Well, obviously, by pursuing policies and taking actions that, one, advance our comprehensive national power, two, reduce our vulnerabilities, and three, promote our influence. Now, the last two clearly constitute the core of our diplomatic activities, but even when it comes to increasing comprehensive national power, our role in diplomacy is active rather than passive. This is done, amongst others, by facilitating the flow of technology and the ease of manufacturing, by shaping external sentiment about investing in India, by opening markets for our producers and work opportunities for our skills, and by ensuring the steady and predictable supply of our requirements from the world. As India rises and our economy grows, we are preparing, obviously, to shoulder more responsibilities in this regard. A major power, that too one with higher aspirations like us, must have a significant industrial base. Unfortunately, this was not an assumption necessarily accepted by policymakers before 2014. Promoting industrial growth and even incentivizing it is today a key economic priority. The emphasis on Make in India in the last decade speaks of a different mindset and greater ambition. For its full potential to be realized, industry has to wholeheartedly partner and look beyond the short term. It must help build the domestic supply chain even as we seek to participate more in the global one. As it strikes roots, Make in India is strengthened by research in India, innovate in India, and design in India. Not all missed opportunities of the lost decades of the last century can be recovered. But there is considerable scope, believe me, to play catch-up, especially in selected domains. At the same time, attention is being paid to advanced technologies, to advanced manufacturing, so that India does not perpetually lag behind. We are now in the world of chips and semiconductors, electric vehicles and batteries, drones and space, or that of nanotech and bioscience. Each of them offers opportunity to leapfrog and establish unique capabilities, which is why they feature today so strongly in the government's policy support. Where foreign affairs is concerned, technology and trade are among the metrics of our 3 T's performance evaluation, along with tourism. It is a measure of seriousness that our diplomats are so focused on constantly exploring opportunities and solving problems in these domains. For all of this to happen, it has also been imperative to rectify the shortcomings in our infrastructure. In fact, that was the crucial differentiator in many ways with respect to the more successful Asian economies. But in the last few years, that gap is narrowing. In fact, it is narrowing before our very eyes. Whether it is highways or railways, aviations or ports, energy or power, we are now moving ahead by any standards. And I can tell you by personal experience that the world is indeed taking note. Getting across the India story to investors is a responsibility that we also take very seriously in the diplomatic routine. That involvement can at times also extend to hand-holding in respect of important projects. While the physical environment may be improving, it is also equally important that the enabling one for entrepreneurship does so. Making it easier to do business has been a consistent refrain over this last decade. This ranges from abolishing outdated rules and simplifying compliance procedures to limiting discretionary powers and encouraging deregulation. Side by side, a determined effort is underway to improve the ease of living for the average citizen. That is reflected in more efficient administration and better governance. But the game changer here has really been our digital public infrastructure. It has not only facilitated optimal use of resources and drastically reduced leakage, but also expanded the reach of social welfare measures. The role of digitally enabled governance in the transformation of India cannot be overstated. Whether it is nutrition support for 2/3 of our population, health facilities for more than half, social housing on a mass scale, benefit schemes for farmers, or unprecedented financial inclusion, none of this could have happened without the digital backbone. Significantly, our achievements in this sector are gaining increasing recognition abroad. We have started actually partnering with the Global South on similar initiatives. A crucial consequence of these developments has been the human resources sector, which is at last getting the attention that it has long deserved. It starts at the bottom of the pyramid, where there is far more effective delivery of basic needs, including nutrition, health, housing, and connectivity. As literacy and education rates in our society improve, there are direct implications for the quality of our workforce. Educational institutions have actually doubled in the last decade, but there is obviously much more work to be done. Skills enhancement has also become a focus in itself, both as policy and on the ground. Whether it is skills or educations, there is much to be gained by international collaboration, as in fact the history of this very institution can testify. We have consequently been active in assisting foreign universities and skills institutions to establish their collaborative or other presence in India. The initial results are already visible. As international demand for talent and skills increase across professions, we are obviously today in a much better position to meet it. In fact, addressing the needs of the global workplace is a major diplomatic goal for us. It is reflected in the mobility agreements that we have reached with many countries. Moreover, as more Indians go out in the world, we must arm them with greater confidence. Ensuring the welfare through evacuation in conflict situations, or indeed the manner in which we looked after them during the COVID pandemic, these send a very strong message to our citizens who go out in the world. Now, just as power has a comprehensive definition, so too does the concept of security. Nations, again I stress, especially the large ones, need to be reassured when it comes to energy security, food security, health security, or for that matter, even fertilizer security. That means ensuring the smooth working of supply chains and negotiating long-term arrangements and understandings. The COVID pandemic tested us in that regard when it came to vaccines, just as the Ukraine conflict impacted our energy access. By securing vaccine ingredients and accessing additional energy and fertilizer sources, we actually demonstrated that a responsive foreign policy can indeed deliver for every citizen. In an uncertain world, it is all the more important that we continuously diversify supply sources to ensure, to actually guarantee our national needs. With these considerations in mind, we are today endeavoring to forge new trade arrangements and promote fresh connectivity initiatives. While they certainly represent key facets of our policy priorities, it also speaks for the importance that the world attaches to ties with India. As we ascend the global economic hierarchy, the case for them will only get stronger. These exercises have long-term repercussions and therefore need to be embarked upon with great judiciousness. When it comes to trade, we will naturally be guided by our people-centric vision, just as our connectivity plans will be by strategic as well as economic considerations. Among the methods of promoting India abroad is through extending lines of credit and offering grant assistance. And you could ask me, why is that so important?